Bear with me. Okay. Right, I think it's working this time. Sorry if you tuned in before and ended up getting kicked off. YouTube, the app was reinstalling itself. But yeah, to restart, I'm outside a slaughterhouse in, I can't even remember where I am. Where the hell am I? I'm so tired. Okay, so we're outside a slaughterhouse in Bedford, and this is the cow slaughterhouse. And we're going to be showing you the stuff that the industry don't want you to see. You know, slaughterhouses are hidden away for a reason. Most people, if you ask yourself where the nearest slaughterhouse is, you probably wouldn't have a clue. So what we're doing is trying to bring them to light so you can actually see what goes on, and then you can make an informed decision. I'm here with Mel and Steve, who are over here. I might give you a little bit of a wave. They're also streaming as well, so feel free to hop over to their stream as well. And yeah, if you have any questions about what we're doing, let us know. I'm very tired, so I'm going to do my best. But yeah, let's see what happens. Let's take you on a bit of a tour, and we can see what's going on. So Mel, I've sent you a fresh link, by the way, because the other one doesn't work.
I copied and pasted from my own phone anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, I did it. It's all shared.
Okay. So we've got Mel and Steve over here.
Chris is on the double live stream, and look, check this out. If you ever go to a slaughterhouse live stream, because you can reach so many more people on a live stream. Like we've got over 200 people in the room right now. This is 200 people to a slaughterhouse, let alone what Chris has on here, and how many other people turn up during the day. You never, this is a slaughterhouse here, right?
Right, let's go down and we can show you what's going on. So you probably don't need to take the whole stand. Let me take the phone, and we can go and check out what is happening. So I'm just going to try and quickly share this on Instagram as well if I can. But yeah, this is basically a huge cow slaughterhouse. So let me just flip this around so you can see. Hello, whoever's entered. How's it going? So yeah, we're outside a slaughterhouse in Bedford currently. It's a cow slaughterhouse, and we're going to be showing you the stuff that they don't want you to see. So we're going to be waiting till the trucks come in. We're going to see if we can get a glimpse of the animals, and this will be, essentially in their final moments. They'll go inside, have a bolt gun to the head, and then they're gone for, a burger essentially. So we're going to be just basically exposing stuff to you. And yeah, so if you got any questions, let me know. I'm a bit tired this morning. I've got very minimal sleep, so please do your best to keep me awake. And yeah, let's expose these places. So yeah, regardless, how are you doing? Can I say hi to you as well? Okay, we've got 8 people in now, which is great. So yeah, like I was saying, a lot of people have no idea where slaughterhouses are. If you ask most people where the nearest slaughterhouse is, they're not going to be able to give you an answer, because they don't advertise these places to anyone outside of the industry. But you've got to think, why is that? I mean, we see all the other products all around. You see all the crop farms wherever you go, slaughterhouses hidden away. I mean, I can't even see a sign for this place anywhere to even say that there's a slaughterhouse here. You'd only know if you were kind of, within the industry. So yeah, what we're here to basically do today is to kind of show people what's going on, and so then you can make an informed decision on whether you agree with this or not. I've got 10 people in. Thanks for hitting the like button. If anyone can share or anything, that would be great. I'm going to have some water and try and wake myself up. I have only had a few hours sleep, so if I'm babbling a little bit, please forgive me. I will hopefully wake up as the stream goes. Yeah, again, I'm with Mel and Steve and Ross and Rihanna. They're streaming as well, so if you'd like to hop over to their stream as well, feel free and see what's going on there. And we're just essentially going to be waiting to see when the trucks come in so that we can show you the animals and yeah, show you them in their last moments. So if anyone's got any questions or anything, feel free, fire some stuff over. Let's start a conversation, help wake me up a little bit. Simple question for everyone who's watching. Are you currently a meat eater? Are you a vegan? Are you a vegetarian? And have you ever been to a slaughterhouse? Let me know. Let's have a discussion about this and see where people are at. Got 16 people in now, that's great. Slowly going up, thanks for the updates, Maximilian, really appreciate that. Tone, thanks for tuning in. How long have you been streaming? Literally only 5-6 minutes, only just started. Yeah, so you haven't missed anything currently, it's all still new and fresh. Yeah, like I said, for those just tuning in, I'm currently in Bedford and we're outside a cow slaughterhouse. So we'll be seeing hopefully the trucks come in with the cows, and then what you've got to think is once these go in, this is where their life ends. These will be the last moments that you'll ever see these animals. And for what, essentially? Not much. How long in my life or today? Okay. In my life, God, many years. So I've been a vegan activist now for over a decade. So it's been a very, very long time. Haven't streamed for quite a while though, because I've been busy making a animal rights documentary. So that's kind of taken priority. But Mel and Steve are currently running a campaign to get more people live streaming, and I'm out with them. So I thought, why not? Let's try and get back in the game. So yeah, here I am. Do you eat avocado? I wonder where that's going. Yes, I eat avocado. What do you want to say about it? And we can have a discussion. I like meat. I used to like meat as well. But what we got to think is, what's more important? A moment of taste pleasure, or the fact that these animals are getting their life taken? I mean, you can replicate pretty much any taste these days. If you think about something like KFC, for example, is something I always like to bring up. They've got the secret recipe. Everyone loves KFC. It's not the chicken that makes KFC. It's the herbs and the spices. That's why people like it. That's the secret recipe. It's not the chicken. Chicken's just bland and boring. Most of the most amazing flavors in the world are all based in plants. What about the bees being transported? Okay, is this where we're going to go, John? Okay, we can discuss this if you want. So, tell me, what about the bees? You can tell me, and then we'll have a discussion about it. Billions killed for the avocado. Okay. What's your point? How about the billions of bees killed for alfalfa, which is eaten by animals in farming? How about the fact that bees are currently need to be imported to pollinate because of the mass destruction of things like cattle farming and all these other things which are ruining the environment? How about the fact that these bees are not being sent out to be killed? Most of them do not die, and if they do die, it's not actually because they're pollinating, it's normally because of mites. And you can actually look that up if you want to actually see some evidence of that. Look up Joey Carbstrong on Piers Morgan, and he actually runs through that. There is no need for the bees to die for anything like avocados or anything like that. That's not the point. They want the bees to stay alive because they pollinate. There'd be no point sending them off to their death for it. So, I mean, you need to do a bit of research on why we're using bees in the first place. And where do all these bees come from? The honey industry. Who supports the honey industry? Not vegans. This is a problem not caused by vegans. This is a problem that we want to solve. And if you actually care about bees, the best thing you can do is actually to become vegan and not support these industries that means that we need bees to pollinate things in the first place. Thank you regardless. That's really kind of you. Thanks, Alex. Thanks for tuning in. If anyone is on social media and can share this, that'd be great. This is the first time I've streamed in a long time, so it'd be really great to chat to as many people as possible. I'm an open book. If you want to ask anything at all, feel free. I've been a vegan activist now for over a decade. I've been an undercover investigator. I've done university talks, education, currently making a documentary, and I'm currently outside a cow slaughterhouse, looking to expose the things that they don't want you to see. It's a cattle slaughterhouse. Here's one thing that you may not be aware of. So when you think of a cow slaughterhouse, you're probably just thinking of cows killed, beef cows that come in, because that's who we generally think of when we think of killing for meat. What you don't think about, though, is that some of these cows that are going in are not beef cows, they're dairy cows. And a lot of people don't really know that the cows in the dairy industry are also being killed and also being turned into cheap burgers. Because what happens is, once their milk production drops, they're not profitable. This is where we end up. Dairy is just as responsible for the deaths of those animals as the meat industry. In fact, they work together. You know, a lot of cheap meat is spent dairy cows, unfortunately. Thank you, Maximilian. That's really kind. Where are you going to go to it? Oh, when are you going to go to it? Oh, what, the slaughterhouse? Oh, well, we're here. It's literally over here. And this road here is where the trucks come in. So we can't go inside. I mean, well, we would like to, but there's way too many security to actually get inside. But what we're going to do is film the trucks as they come in. This is a regular spot that a lot of activists come to see them. The trucks aren't always, well, the drivers, should I say, aren't always particularly friendly with us. They have been known to kind of drive at activists, so can get a bit spicy sometimes. We do get the police down here quite a lot. But we're going to do our best to, you know, show you those animals in their final moments. So again, you can think about the victims of this. So again, if you've got any questions at all about, you know, why we're here, you want to know a bit more about veganism, maybe you don't understand it, maybe you've got some objections against it, you know, like John had a question there, happy to answer anything you want, you know, it's all good. Even if you just want to say hi or ask any questions, just to kind of, you know, keep the stream running, keep things interesting, more than happy to chat. So what else can I tell you? So for those of you that don't know much about slaughterhouses, every single species of animal generally has a different way in which they'll be killed. So with cows, for example, the method that will be used for them is a bolt gun. Now what that basically is a gun with basically a metal pin. So when they fire it, it goes through their skull, penetrates the brain, knocked out, and then they'll basically be hung up and have their throat slit. With pigs, they sometimes can have bolt gun. Sometimes it's electric prod, so almost if you think like a big pair of scissors that will go on each side of their head, that will basically electrocute them, and then again hung up, next slice. But the most common method for pigs is actually a gas chamber. So they'll be basically if you imagine like a big wheel, they'll basically go into one of the carousels and they'll be lowered down into dense CO2 gas, where basically they burn from the inside and they basically suffocate. It's horrific. I'd really recommend everyone going to watch a film called Pignorant, which Joey Carbstrong has made, another amazing activist. He exposed the first ever gas chamber in the UK, and he's got hours and hours and hours of footage online, and so you can actually see exactly what happens. The same kind of thing happens with chickens. They're not so much lowered down into it, they're actually in the crates that they're loaded into on the trucks. The crates will be loaded into a gas chamber. There's also a water bath electrocution. They'll be hung upside down and dragged through electric water, and then basically there'll be a rotating blade which they'll then pass by, which will slice the throat. And I think that's the main methods. So when people kind of talk about humane slaughter and things being done nicely, ask yourself how any of these things could ever be nice. How can we kill someone that doesn't want to die kindly, compassionately, nicely? We can't. They want to live. If any of those methods were used on you or used on any of your pets, you wouldn't agree. You'd be like, hey, this is messed up. We don't want this. So this humane slaughter thing is basically an invention of the industry to make you feel better about your choices. But for the animals, there's no humane way to die. Do you have to look up where you're legally allowed to stand in front of the slaughterhouses? It's fine as long as you're not in the gates. You're allowed to stand anywhere as long as it's public land, essentially. So all this here, the road, everything down, is all public land until, well, you can kind of see the white bit here. That's where it starts going onto their land. If we go onto there, we're trespassing, which is a civil offence. We could technically walk on this, ask us to leave. But yeah, anywhere that's kind of public land, we're allowed to be. If we want to walk on, we can. They can chuck us off. I mean, we're not going to get in too much too much trouble. But at the moment, we're not really about kind of hassling the workers or anything like that. All we want to do is try and show you the animals when they come in, which we will do our best to do when they show up. This place isn't like super regular, so we could be waiting a little bit. Could be 10 minutes, could be half an hour, but they do come quite regularly. So we'll hold out and see what we can do. You are Joe Jordan. I don't know who Joe Jordan is. Please explain. I have no idea. Is that someone I look like or something? Yeah, if anyone, like I said, if anyone's got any questions, it doesn't necessarily need to be about the slaughterhouse, whether it's just about veganism, whether you're confused by it, whether you hate us, anything, I don't mind. I don't mind whether you're a hater or anything like that. I'm happy to answer questions. All we're here to do is educate today and just try and share some information and show some things that aren't normally shown to the public. So yeah, feel free to chip in with whatever you want. Just to shout out, we've got Alex Activism in the chat. Please go and subscribe to his channel. He also does live streams like this, does a lot of work exposing, doing outreach to people. Really, really great activists. So please go and support Alex. And also Mel and Steve, who I'm with as well. It's Mel and Steve on YouTube and all the other channels. They're also doing incredible stuff, and they're the reason I'm live streaming today. They've kind of been trying to encourage everyone to get live streaming, and I thought, why not? Let's get back in the game. It's been a while. I used to do this all the time when I first started, and kind of got out of it because I've had other projects. So I thought, yeah, let's get back on it. It's got 21 people in at the moment, which is great. If you're in, please hit the like button. It does help kind of boost it in the YouTube algorithm, or even if you just want to leave a comment, even if it's just saying hi or anything, if YouTube knows this is active, then it will help push it to more people. Do they stop the trucks at the gates for a couple of minutes? Some places they do. So some places we're lucky and we get a kind of arrangement with them where they'll do that for us. This place don't like us. They're more likely trying to run us over or something. We've tried to talk to them many, many times to make an agreement, because to be honest, it makes it a lot safer for us. It makes it easier for them if they can just agree to stop a truck for just a couple of minutes and, make everyone's lives easier. But they don't want us doing this. They don't like it when we're here. The farmers don't like it when we're here, which is strange, because why are they so afraid of us just showing this stuff? I mean, I don't think people would care if we were filming a strawberry farm or something like that. So why are they so determined to hide this? So yeah, unfortunately, we have no agreement with them at all. We're just going to do our best. Hopefully we can walk alongside the trucks, depending on what speed they come in at. And we'll just do our best. Oh, thank you for subscribing, Mustang. That's really, really kind. I have a YouTube channel as well. I have 214 subscribers. 214 is great. And what kind of stuff do you do? Use this moment if you want to tell people what your channel's about. Is it animal rights activism? If not, maybe it could be. Maybe we could inspire you. What animals are being taken into the slaughterhouse? So today it's only cows. And again, I think it's important to talk about the fact that a lot of people, when they think of a cow slaughterhouse, are just going to expect cows that are beef cows. But what they don't realise is a lot of the cows that come in are also dairy cows. Dairy cows are also slaughtered. Milk, cheese, they're not just living out their entire lives or anything. They're coming here, having the same fate, ending up as cheap burgers. In fact, the dairy industry is probably, I'd say, 10 times worse than the meat industry. And if you want to get into that, let me know. We can talk a bit more about the dairy industry and what's going on. But yeah, so you get beef cattle here, and you also get dairy cows as well. So hopefully when the truck comes in, we can show you some of these. We do get dairy cows coming here quite often. So yeah, we'll see what we can do. Subscribe to Alex, popped into Mel and Steve to leave a like. Good luck for today. Thank you, Helen. That's awesome. Deck, you vegan? Yes, I am. So I've been vegan now for over a decade. So the thing that originally kind of inspired me to get into animal rights activism was actually a punk band called Goldfinger. They had a song called Free Me. And that song resonated with me so much, I instantly gave up meat, like there and then, and I became a vegetarian. Then years later, I kind of realized that there was more going on than just the meat industry. We've got scientific testing on animals. People are wearing animals. We have the dairy industry. There's so many facets, when it comes to what we do to animals. So the only logical thing to do was to be vegan, to live vegan. And that's all being vegan is. You're just basically rejecting the exploitation and use of animals in all aspects. So not just meat like vegetarianism is. In every way you can. You don't go to zoos, you don't go to circuses, you don't buy things tested on animals, you don't support horse racing, greyhound racing, the dairy industry, the meat industry, anything you can think of. We basically just try and just be kind to animals. That's all it is. We just say animals are here with us, not for us, and we just respect them in the same way that we respect each other. In the same way, I'm not going to walk down a road and punch somebody. I'm not going to go out of my way to harm an animal when I don't need to do so. And that's literally all veganism is. It's not a cult or religion, which some people try and make it out to be. It's just an ethical stance to be kind to animals in the same way that we're not racist, or we're for trans people, or we're for women's rights, for anything like that. It's just seeing them on just a level playing field of just like, hey, they're living beings just like us. Let's just respect them and let them get on with their lives. That's essentially all it is. How do I start doing? What is that? As in being vegan, or let me know what you mean by that, and I can definitely try and clear that up for you. I can't believe I never questioned what happened to cows when I was vegetarian. It was so hidden. I thought I was doing enough. Now being vegan for 8 years. Yeah, amazing, Stacey. Thanks for making that switch. And I feel you. I really feel you. A lot of vegetarians are the same. I would consider myself at the time a militant vegetarian. I used to run a record label. I had like PETA banners on the side of our website and all stuff like that. I used to always be talking about it. And I was just so blind to things like the dairy industry and stuff, because people just don't tell you these things. I used to think, what's wrong with just getting milk? What's the problem? Maybe we could talk about that, because a lot of people just, do think that. So actually, a question I want to put out, we'll see if we get a few answers, but I'll answer it anyway. But for those of you that do still consume dairy, why do cows produce milk? Okay, that's the question I want you to answer. If you don't answer, I don't know who's in here exactly. I'll give it a little while, see if anyone answers that. But I'm interested in why you think cows produce milk, and then maybe we can discuss a bit more about the dairy industry. Alex is saying you can start going live on YouTube, or you can post videos about veganism, animal agriculture, etc. Yeah, perfect place to start. I like animals, but I like eating meat. Stop preaching crap. So that's Richard Jones. So Richard, think about, this is what I'd like you to think about, okay? If you like animals, okay, and you realise that we don't need to consume meat, we don't. I haven't eaten meat since 2002, which is probably longer than some people in this chat may have been alive. Okay, what really is the justification for doing that? Can you really say you like animals when you're happy to send them to have their heads cut off for something that you do not even require? How is that respectful to them? How is it compassionate to them? How can that be liking animals? That's the question you need to ask yourself. And it's a challenging question, because in our hearts, we always think, yeah, we like animals. And I'd imagine if you were next to a cow or a pig or a chicken, you personally would probably never hurt them. I don't think you would be someone who's going to be the person to slit their throat. You don't. Other people do it. And because of that, we have a big disconnect. We forget the process. We just see the product on the shelf, and we forget that was a living being that wanted to live and had their life taken from them. We need to make that connection again. And that's all I've done, is made that connection. There was a click moment for me where I was like, nah, this isn't right. I am an animal lover. I don't want to do this to other living beings. And that's it. Then I made that change. What would happen to all the farm animals if meat eating was outlawed tomorrow? Okay, good question. So, just so people know, the world ain't going vegan overnight. It's just not going to happen. Like, as much as I wish it would, it's not. It's going to be a slow process. What we've got to remember about these industries is that we breed these animals into existence, okay? Obviously we're killing animals, we need more of them. So what happens is we breed and breed and breed and breed and breed. Now, as we can create, less demand, and there's less animals needing to be killed, less animals will be bred into existence. And this number will get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until eventually it will stop. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, well, hey, aren't these animals going to go extinct? I mean, the meat industry is not a conservation thing, okay? These animals are domesticated animals. They are unnatural species. The majority, pretty much all of them, don't exist in the wild, never have done. They are hybrids of wild animals that are already out there and already exist. Okay, like take for example the chicken. Okay, you will not find a meat chicken, a broiler chicken as they're called, in the wild, ever. They don't exist. They're all relatives of what are known as the red jungle fowl. And, they look completely different. But they've been so genetically modified that now we end up with this chicken that grows from a chick to a full-grown chicken in a matter of 6 to 8 weeks. If, I said, as the demand lessens, these animals stop being bred, and eventually it stops. But all the wild counterparts, the ones they were originally bred for, still exist. Cows don't go extinct. Chickens don't go extinct. We just keep the wild ones, which should be there, and the originals, and that's essentially it. So, and you've got to remember, what is stopping is a cycle of violence, a continual cycle of breeding, exploitation, killing. None of that will happen anymore. None of it. And then maybe we can put our energies into protecting the actual wild ones that are out there and making sure that they're having good lives. Let's have a look, see what other questions we've got. Why do you eat plant-based products? Okay, well that's an easy question to answer. Plant-based products don't involve the exploitation and the death of animals. So anything, from plants is obviously going to be a hell of a lot better than having to send things to a slaughterhouse. Now, I know some of you are now going to say, hey, but what about animals that are killed in crop production? So let's talk about that quickly, because that's a topic that we should also discuss. And it is an important topic, and not one that I shy away from, because I think we should talk about it. So what we've got to realise is we need to protect our food source, right? I think we could all agree on that. If we don't protect our food source, the world starves, we all die. We've got to do something to protect our food. And we do need plants. They are essential. If we didn't have plants, the world is dying. So currently, we're having to use methods to protect them, such as using pesticides. And a lot of farms are also using methods that we don't agree with. They might trap and poison rats. They might shoot birds and things like that, which we don't agree with. We don't want that to happen. And if you look at what veganic farming is, which is where we'd like to go, it doesn't involve any of that. We try and work with nature. We try and plant crops in a way that, help deter pests. We'd rather build a fence than shoot rats coming in or anything like that. So we have a justification in protecting our crops, but we also want to change it. And the biggest way we can do that is actually to be vegan. We've got to remember that a vast majority of these crops are being fed to animals. That's what they're eating. And a lot of people forget that. If we stop the purposeful exploitation, breeding and killing of the farm animals, we stop feeding them all these crops, we're going to reduce the amount of crops that are being grown overall. Therefore, we're going to reduce that amount of deaths from crops. And ultimately, if we can start to get people to connect that animals have moral worth, hopefully we can start to rectify the crop farming industry to use better methods and really try and minimize the amount of damage that we're doing. We don't want all this shooting, we don't want trapping, we don't want any of that. But at the moment, we don't really have a choice. But that is the better option, and if we support that, that is the option that's going to lead us to a world that's going to be better for animals overall. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. If you want me to elaborate on any of that, let me know. But that's essentially why we eat plant-based products, because the other side, the animal side, it's intentional. There's no justification for any of this. We've got a justification of protection of our food source of one. The other side, it's just exploitation and death on a mass scale, and it's completely unnecessary. What else have we got here? Henry Walton. I wouldn't say I'm an animal lover, but I've been vegan for 6 years. You don't have to like someone to not harm and kill them. Very, very true, Henry. Great point. There's plenty of people in the world I detest, and I think are idiots. But yeah, I'm not going to go and intentionally harm them. So yeah, you don't need to even be an animal lover. All you need to realise, is all you got to believe in is just justice. You believe that, in fairness and equality, and that's all you need. You can hate animals, but you can just, you can still not harm them. Give me 2 seconds. Going to grab a drink. Just going to read through these. Okay, so deck. All right, but that's life. That's the food chain. For example, you wouldn't see a vegan tiger. It's the natural food chain. Really think about this. Okay, for one, we're not a tiger. Okay, we can't compare ourselves in any way to what tigers do. Is it really the food chain? Okay, if we want to think about food chain, normally we think about certain animals eat other animals, and it keeps the population down and stops them kind of overpopulating and that kind of stuff. And you think of this natural balance in life, don't you? That's what you kind of think about when you think about this food chain. How does that apply to us? We're breeding and killing on a mass scale, trillions and trillions of animals. We're destroying the environment. We're ripping apart seabeds. We're literally dragging animals out of their homes. When it comes to like fishing, like, oh my God, the destruction is just insane. How is any of this food chain? How is any of this kind of natural or anything like that? It's not. It's just mass murder. Like, there's no kind of food chain about this. We're not benefiting anyone by doing this. I mean, we could have a debate whether it's beneficial for a lion to eat a zebra or anything. I mean, it's definitely not beneficial to the zebra. I mean, but we're not a part of that system, and we shouldn't even begin to start to think that we're part of that system. We are so out of that. It's unreal. This ain't food chain. This is gluttony, greed, selfishness, exploitation, death. Like, none of this is playing any role in a harmonious world. I mean, if you disagree, let me know. Yeah, Tone, like, nothing natural about the human food system. It's not. I mean, think about it. You're going into a shop and you're buying a cut up dead animal wrapped in plastic. I mean, it's not exactly natural, is it? I mean, lions and tigers don't have Aldi or Lidl or Tesco, do they? But yeah, actually, so we were talking about the dairy industry anyway. So no one actually said, so I'm guessing you either don't know or didn't want to answer, which is absolutely fine. So we were discussing, why cows produce milk. So if you didn't know, cows produce milk because it's for their babies, the same as every other animal on the planet. That's what it's for. It's for their babies. And what do we end up doing? We end up taking their babies away from the mums so we can steal their milk. And then those babies are going to end up, if they're male, they're going to be sent off to be killed. If they're female, they're basically going to be impregnated again and again and again. Keep making them pregnant, keep making them produce milk. And then once they can't give any more, then off to the slaughterhouse. Dairy is one of the most horrendously cruel, torturous industries on this planet. We're literally forcing animals to breed, taking away their children, to then steal their lactating fluid, and then at the end of it, no thank you, no retirement, off to the slaughterhouse. It's horrific. And I'd really recommend everybody to go out and really do your research on the dairy industry to see how vile an industry it is. It really is worse than the meat industry, and the meat industry is bad enough as it is. It's honestly horrible. John, do you grow any of your own fruit and veg? Not currently. I have done in the past. I've given it a go. We did set up a greenhouse. Didn't go too well. What did we were growing? We were growing tomatoes and cucumbers, some lettuce. We had a blueberry bush. What other things did we have? We had a few more. We tried growing potatoes as well. I think where we had the greenhouse wasn't particularly great. I think it was too hot. They either ended up just being really, really small, or the plants weren't growing too well. But yeah, it's something that I would like to kind of grow more of if I could. Unfortunately, I only live in quite a small house, so it's a bit limiting. But if you can grow your own fruit and veg, great way to do it, because you can eliminate some of those problems with industrial crop agriculture. You can grow stuff at home without using pesticides and all these kind of things, and a bit more kind of to the animals. So I'd really recommend anyone that if you do have the ability to do that, do your best too. It's definitely something that I will try and set up again. I think I just need to rethink my system. I'm a bit of a newbie with it. If anyone's got any resources, let me know. Deck. All right, I agree. The way it's run, I don't think is the most ethical. But I do think you've got to bear in mind a lot of cows enjoy milking. Okay, here's another thing to think about. Why do you think cows enjoy milking? Now, what you've got to realise is these cows have been genetically bred over the years to produce way too much milk. This is why they have these huge udders. If you see natural cows, they don't have these huge udders. These cows are producing way, way too much. So why do they like being milked? Relief. Because it's probably uncomfortable. So what should we do? Not make them pregnant and need to produce all this milk in the first place, right? They're not doing it because they enjoy it. It's a relief. It's like, I'm trying to think of an easy way to describe it you might understand. Imagine you just really need to pee, right? And the relief you get from peeing, right? It's not because you like enjoying peeing. Like it's just relief, right? You get what I mean? A weird example, but I hope that kind of, you can kind of understand what I mean there. So yeah, the best thing we can do is just not force them into pregnancy in the first place. They don't need to be producing all this milk. They don't need to be being used by us at all. We don't need milk. You got to think about it. Milk is for children, whether it's human child or whether it's for an animal child, and we use our own species milk. We don't need to be drinking the milk of other animals, right? So why are we? We don't even drink our own parents' milk beyond a certain time. So why are we drinking milk as adults? It makes no sense. And it's not evolution. How is it evolution? Like, what's happening to the cows isn't evolution. That was forced on them. They were forcibly bred, selectively bred, to have certain traits. It's not evolution. That's man-made. All these animals are man-made animals. They're not natural. This isn't natural evolution at all. Tony Perkis, are you gay? No. I have an amazing girlfriend of 7 years. Don't know if she's watching. But would it be a problem if I was? Would that trigger you? We don't make them. Well, we kind of do. Okay, think about this, Doug. I'm trying to work out a way to kind of explain it to you. So, go find a cow which isn't in farming, okay? Like a natural kind of cow, as natural as you can kind of find, right? They're not going to have these big udders. They're not going to have any of this. That's how they should be, right? So what do? This is what humans have done. They've found a cow with slightly bigger udders. They're like, okay, let's breed with them. And then they find the one out of those children which has got the bigger udders again. They breed with them, and they naturally pick certain traits, and they keep doing it and doing it and doing it until they get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. We're choosing to do that. It's not the cows. We're doing that. We're manipulating the system to make the cows have the traits that we want. Okay? That doesn't happen. You go in the wild, you don't see, like I said, you don't see these animals, these cows with huge udders in the wild. It doesn't happen because what's the point? There's no need. Why are they going to produce more milk than they need to? We only want them to produce more milk so we can steal it. They only need enough milk for their children, that's it. So yeah, it's like Tony said, it's selective breeding. It's breeding for specific traits. Same with chickens. We've selectively bred over the years chickens that grow faster and faster and faster and faster until now they grow from a chick to a full-grown chicken in 6 to 8 weeks. Completely unnatural. Their bodies are so big they can barely support themselves. Their legs collapse. And that's it. That's all we need them for. All we need them for is to go quick, big as possible, so we can sell them, and that's it. We don't care about what happens to them after that. And you ask anyone who's got rescue chickens from the meat industry, and you'll soon learn about all the problems that rescue chickens have because of that. They have to get put on special diets, to make sure that they're restricted so they don't keep growing. I even had rescue chickens myself. One of them couldn't walk at all, so we had to give her calcium injections to build up the kind of strength in her legs and her bones and everything, like rehabilitation. Probably took her a good, maybe 2 months or so to get her kind of back on her feet and everything. Built a little harness for her, picking her up while she was eating to build her strength again. This is humans. This ain't nothing to do with the animals. The animals aren't making themselves like that. We're making them like that because it serves us. So yeah, when I say these animals are man-made, they're man-made. I mean, we're not putting them together like, technology, but we're manipulating them. We made them. We made them like that. So it's worth thinking about. So for anyone who's just tuned in, because I know we haven't had any trucks come in yet, but we're currently outside a cow slaughterhouse in Bedford in the UK, if anyone didn't recognise my accent. And what we're basically going to look to do is we're waiting for the trucks to come in so we can show you these animals in their final moments. This is where their life ends. This is where they will get a bolt gun to their head, they'll get their throat slit, and they'll be cut up into pieces. Not long after you will see them. And we want people to see them for who they are, understand they're an individual, try and make that connection, and try and think, do I want to be paying for what's happening to them? Because currently, that's what people are doing. Thanks for explaining basic animal husbandry. I had no idea. I thought we'd been wandering around eating dirt for centuries. Spoiled middle-class brat. I mean, that's not an argument against anything I've said, is it? You can insult me as much as you want, but that doesn't debunk anything I say at all. And a lot of people don't know this. You might know this. Maybe you're a farmer. Maybe you're a bit more educated than some people on what happens with animals. A lot of people do not know. I didn't know. For many, many years of my life, I didn't know this stuff. And most people I speak to, which I speak to a lot of people, don't know this stuff. So you can insult me as much as you want, but prove me wrong. Prove anything I'm saying is wrong. Prove anything that I'm saying is, is not ethical or anything like that.
Anybody can change. So down there.
Okay, so Andrew's saying, oh what?
I think down there's a better spot because that truck that just went in went really slow around the corner.
I mean,
and that guy will just come out here in a cow burger as well. So.
Yeah, I mean we can move down if you want. Do you reckon?
I might try, yeah, because there's more going on.
There's a bit more action down there, I think.
Okay.
So,
I think we're going to move further down. Yeah. Okay, I think we're going to move down closer to the gates so we can see a bit more what's going on. Andrew's saying they are pretty yummy though. I mean, who cares? If I tasted of barbecue, that wouldn't justify killing me, right? Taste is not more important than someone's life, right? And pretty much every single taste that you enjoy can be replicated. And that's something to bear in mind. Like I was saying right at the beginning of the stream, which you probably missed. If you think about something like KFC, for example, most people are like, oh yeah, I love KFC, I love chicken. It's not the chicken that makes KFC. It's the herbs and the spices, and they're all plants, right? So what you're enjoying is the plants put on the chicken. Chicken on its own is bland as hell. Everyone knows that. It's boring as hell. So yeah, if you want good taste, you can still get it. But you know, taste is not more valuable than someone's life, and that really needs to be considered, right? Oh, we're just gonna. Where are you guys setting up? Oh, just on the edge, right? Okay. Right. Bear with me. I think we're kind of moving around a little bit here. So we're going to go outside the gates. We're still on public land. Okay, so this is the slaughterhouse right behind us.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm just making sure that I'm on there.
The security guard is currently on the phone now. I think he looks a bit worried now we've come a bit closer.
Good.
So yeah, so any of you that's just tuned in, like I said, we're outside a cow slaughterhouse. We're waiting for the trucks to come in so we can show you the animals before they go to slaughter. If you've got any other questions about what we're doing or any other questions about animal rights, veganism, anything like that, feel free to put things in. I will happily answer anything that you want. And yeah, let's just have a discussion about it. And thank you for everyone who has been sending messages in. Like, you know, we may not agree, but I respect the fact you're watching and you're asking questions. You're not just being a troll, which is great. I really appreciate that. And yeah, I'm happy to answer anything that you like, any concerns. You can disagree with me as much as you want. Things that aren't constructive are things like whip it dad here. I mean, you can just come in and you can just try and insult me, but it doesn't debunk anything I say. So, who cares? Who cares?
What animals are you empathetic and compassionate to?
Yeah, you've got Mel and Steve here, so they're also streaming as well. Please go give them a follow if you can on all their platforms. It's Mel and Steve. Just going to move a little bit further away just so we don't get the cross of the chatting here. Yeah, and if you haven't already, please hit the like button. It will boost it into the algorithm a bit and more people can tune in. So Ben, what are you guys doing? Okay, so we're currently outside a slaughterhouse in Bedford, England. This is a cow slaughterhouse, and what we're hoping to do today is we're waiting for the trucks to come in for the animals going to slaughter, and we're going to try and show you those animals in their final moments before they basically go in and get killed. So I think they're trying to talk to some of the workers here. So why do I feel so strongly about this? Great question. So the way I see it is, animals are like us in every way that matters. We might be different in so many ways. You know, we don't have fur, we don't have scales, we don't have claws, anything like that. But all the ways that actually matter, they feel, they have a will to live, they're sentient, they have families, all of these things, all the things that that make us value our lives are also apparent in animals. I wouldn't want any of this done to me. So why would I put this upon them? Why would I do it to them if I would never want that done to me? How is that logical? How is that fair? Like, it's that golden rule, isn't it? Do unto others as you would want done to yourself. So that's why I feel strongly about it. And I feel strongly about it as well because I've seen what happens to these animals firsthand. This is something we haven't spoken about yet. So I've been an investigator for many, many years now. I've been into pretty much every type of farm you can think of. And what I've seen is disgusting. It's horrific. Like, I wouldn't wish some of this stuff that I've seen on my worst enemy. You're being lied to. It's all bullshit. And I really mean that. There's no humane farming. There's no humane slaughter. These animals aren't being treated well. They're all being exploited. They're all being used for their bodies. And they're all going to their death. None of this is humane at all. And because I've seen it with my own eyes, I want to do something about it. And this is why I do what I do. And this is why I've committed the majority of my life to animal rights and trying to, put a stop to these industries because it's just not necessary. We don't need to be doing any of this. I think that's one of the biggest things. Like, when you know how unnecessary it is. And just to put out there, I haven't eaten any meat since 2002. I've eaten no animal products at all, been completely vegan for over a decade. So we don't need this stuff. Why are we supporting this? We love animals, right? We would never do this to our cats and dogs or parents, children, or anything. Why are we doing it to other animals? Really, really question that. And you'll soon realise there's no reason for it. There's no reason but selfishness. Like, oh, we like a taste. Who cares? It's not. Those animals don't care if you like the taste. Like, it's not important. It's not important. So what else have we got here? Hope that answered it anyway. Always buy local grass-fed beef, or don't buy any local grass-fed beef because they're all exploited and killed and kept captive, and it's not humane in the slightest. It plays no role in anything but continuing the cycle of those poor animals having their lives taken. So, no, live vegan, do the right thing, respect animals. Would you agree that it's subjective? I mean, we could say anything's subjective, okay? This is kind of an argument people use. Like, someone will say, well, I think murder's okay, right? We can say that, but like, think about it logically. I think, I think you'd agree that we should live our lives without contradicting our beliefs, right? I'm pretty sure like I said kind of earlier, if you wouldn't want this stuff done to you, why would you want it done to someone else? That's a contradiction, right? So it's not just subjective in that sense. Like, you wouldn't want it done to you. Fact, right? So why do it to someone else? If we're going to go down the morality as subjective, we could justify anything. We could be like, okay, well, murdering's fine. I can just punch this child because morality is subjective. We can start going down a bit of a rabbit hole. But I think you kind of understand where I'm coming from anyway. Ben, I love meat. Humans are hunters. I think mass farming is just incredibly efficient farming? How would you respond to that? I also love animals and respect you guys for doing something. Cool, thanks so much for the question, Ben, and I really appreciate that you respect what we're doing even if we disagree. So humans are hunters. How many of us are hunting? Most people are going into a supermarket and picking up a packet off a shelf. It's not really hunting. Do we have the ability to hunt? Yes. Do we have a necessity to hunt? No. Like, it's already been shown we can live off of plant-based foods so much easier. It's also way more efficient to do. Uses way less land, way anything else. We're not violating the rights of all these animals by bringing them into existence and sending them to slaughterhouses. So, what's the better option here? And I mean, you might love meat, but as we kind of explained before, taste and just personal preference isn't an argument to take someone's life, to exploit someone, to hold someone captive, or anything like that. They're not strong arguments, and I think if you really think about it, you know they're not. You know they're not strong arguments. And we've got a better option on the table that we can take. And I think when you really start to research it, you start to realise how much better that option is. All we're doing with these animals is just a perpetual cycle of breeding these animals into existence, exploiting them, killing them, into eternity. I mean, the numbers are crazy. We're talking trillions every year that we don't need to be doing. What slaughterhouse are you at today, please? We are a slaughterhouse in Bedford called Dunby Cardigan, I believe it's called. It's a cow slaughterhouse. So we're waiting for the trucks to come in. We'll be seeing beef cows and dairy cows coming in. When the trucks decide to show up. That's if they haven't cancelled them. They sometimes see we're here and cancel the trucks. I buy a whole lamb from a local farmer who has the lamb slaughtered humanely. Vegan is a choice. I mean, obviously it's a choice. Okay? Everything's a choice, right? But how is buying a lamb from a local farmer ethical? That lamb was bred into existence and then had their life taken at a fraction of their lifespan. How is that humane? How is that nice? How is that compassionate? How do we justify doing that to them at all? Like, this humane thing, you've got to realise, is industry talk. We have been brainwashed by the industry to make us think that something nice happens along the way. It is not nice, it is not compassionate to take someone's life. It's just not. This isn't mercy killing. We're not doing it because they're ill and we want to put them out of their misery like we would if we took a dog that had been hit by a car to the vet or anything like that. These animals have a will to live. They don't want to die. It's not humane. There's nothing humane about it. Animal farming is so far from efficient. The amount of crops, water, travel involved in producing animals is insane. Yeah, Henry, definitely. Stealing milk and eggs and lives is objectively stealing. It is, yep, exactly. We could live on rice and beans, which is true. I mean, we could live on rice and beans, but you don't need to live off rice and beans. Like, I think a lot of people have this misconception that vegans are just living off grass or something, right? We're not living off grass, okay? We pretty much the same as what everyone else eats, just the vegan versions. You want pizzas, we've got pizzas. You want eat chips, doner kebabs, whatever you want. Everything's out there, just a plant-based version. Okay, Diane, I really want to reply to your message here. Dude, live and let live. Who are you to tell anyone what to eat? I could say the same to you, Diane. Less hypothetical, right? I'm now a murderer. Diane, live and let live. Who are you to tell me who I can kill?
Yeah, Diane. Yes,
who are
Diane.
you to tell me who I can go and steal from? Who are you? We can continue and continue and continue this, right? I'm not telling people what to eat, okay? I'm telling people who not to kill and exploit because they want to live. I'm trying to defend innocent living beings, okay? Stop thinking about it as a diet. It's not a dietary choice. I'm not trying to push Atkins or gluten-free onto someone, right? I'm trying to say these animals' lives are worth something. They want to live, leave them alone. It's as simple as that. Well, you kind of are telling me what to do. You're telling me I shouldn't be saying this. Like, you know, but in the end, why can I not tell people my opinion? Damn, what's the problem? What's the problem with me saying that I disagree with this and I think people should change? I'm not forcing anything on you. Am I there pinning you to the floor, shoving tofu and potatoes in your mouth? No, I'm not. I'm on the internet giving an opinion, same as you're giving an opinion. If you disagree with me, you disagree with me. Okay, but I have every right to be able to say what I think and put it out there. And you can try and argue against it. That's how the world works.
Like you wouldn't fly against any.
You get a grip, Diane. You're the one on here triggered because someone's trying to be nice to animals.
I'm gonna force myself in this room.
It's basically what's happening here, right? The whole purpose of this stream, I want people to be nice to animals. You're the one getting triggered by me asking people to do that. Okay. The lambs wouldn't exist and have no life if they weren't raised for food. Okay, well consider this. Oh, there's a truck. There's a truck.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
The animals coming in now, guys.
We're going to see if we can show you. So these are the animals I'm defending, okay? That truck there is full of cows that have done nothing to harm anybody, zero, and they've now gone into that slaughterhouse to have their head cut off. For what? Ask yourself that question. What justifies what is about to happen to those creatures? Why should they get their head cut off? That's what's going to happen. They're going to be bolt gunned in the head cut off, sliced into bits. You probably saw the one cow there. I think I managed to capture one cow. Let me know if you did see them. That's the last we're ever going to see of that cow. That cow's probably only 18 months old. But they can live to their 2025. How do we justify this? This is why I care. This is why I care, because I think this is an injustice. I think what's happening there is wrong. These animals should not be going into a facility like this to have their heads cut off. Just want to see what people are saying. So, it's quite funny because when things like this happen, what happens with people? A bit of psychology here. So we've seen a few people in here instantly be triggered and have to write something stupid. So we've got Brad, Tasty, Deg saying, for my Big Mac, that's why. Think about why is that the way you react? Okay, why is that the way you react when you've just seen an animal go in there to be killed? To have their head chopped off. Was that really your first thought? Or was that just a reaction because you don't know what to say? Because it now feels awkward? Because it now feels like, he's just kind of showing me something, made me feel uncomfortable, so now I've got to say something stupid to make myself feel better. Because that's essentially what happens. And the thing is, I know this because I speak to people all the time about this. And generally, the kind of comments that kind of come through now, especially when you speak to people in person, they're just a front. So I always kind of use the analogy of people put up a shield. They see something they don't like, they put up a shield. This shield is just all the crap. It's all the crap. It's all the tasty, all this, blah, blah, blah. That's not really how they feel. Like some of you in here, would say if I spoke to you, be like, yeah, I like animals, I love animals. I wouldn't want to hurt an animal. You would never purposely hurt an animal, kind of thing. But when you see something like this, it triggers you. And I know full well from when I talk to people, and you get past that, then you get the real reasons behind it. You get the real reasons to what's going on, and to why that they feel that way. And I'd rather discuss that, to be honest. I'd rather you just tell me really how you're feeling and not just kind of say, tasty or anything like that, because I know that that's just all rubbish. So yeah, we're just outside a cow slaughterhouse. We just saw one of the trucks go in. So there's a truck full of cows just entered this facility. They are going to be soon slaughtered, have their head cut off and chopped into pieces. And we're just trying to raise awareness of this and get people to think, is this justified? It's funny how you get triggered by it. Also, cows are really tasty. No, Deg, it's actually more funny how triggered you have become. Because you've been speaking quite fine with me up till now. And now suddenly you're on, like, oh, no, I'm going to say these stupid shit kind of thing. I've got a right to be triggered. Okay? Animals are going in there and getting killed, getting their head cut off.
The only thing that animals need for
Why are you triggered? You might have to eat a different burger. You might have to pick up a vegan burger. Is that triggering? I'm asking someone to be nice to animals. Is that too triggering for you?
This would be a museum.
I've got a reason to be triggered. Those animals are going to die.
And they'll bring
What's your reason?
and they'll say, look,
How do you stop it? Great question, Brian. So the first thing we can do is remove ourselves from this system. And we could do that by living vegan. Now, to describe what veganism is, because a lot of people do have a lot of misconceptions, it's not a diet or anything. It's literally just an ethical philosophy, an ethical standpoint, where you basically just decide to not exploit animals within your life. So we don't exploit them for food. We don't exploit them for what we wear. We don't exploit them for scientific research. We don't exploit them for entertainment. And we just decide to respect them, and we do our best not to harm them in the same way that we do our fellow human beings, to the best of our ability. That's essentially it. That's what I'm asking people to do. If you do that, you lose these industries thousands and thousands and thousands every year. And as we get more people on board, it becomes easier. They release more products that are suitable for vegans, making the buying and purchasing side easier. You know, the whole thing's, supply and demand. Once the demand drops, where are they going to go? This is where we have power. We have power. We vote with our dollar, as people say. We can choose to support one industry, or we can choose to support the other. And if we all got together and all went, you know what, this sucks, we're not going to support it anymore, what are they going to do? They can't continue to run. So that's the first thing you can do. Secondly, do what we're doing, get active. Talk to people about it, whether it's your friends, family, join activism groups, post online, let people know what's going on, educate yourself, get out there and just try and make a change. That's how we will do it. That's how we will do it. Deck is really triggered. I mean, you have written more in this last 30 seconds. Oh, police are showing up than you have before. So
And did any of you hear that last cry for help?
right, we got the police.
Emotion. Did any of you feel like sadness? Did any of you feel anything when you heard
See,
that?
the police are here because we tried to film a truck with some cows in.
Now, so hopefully
We're not doing anything. I've just stood here. Just talking to you guys, trying to do some education, not doing anything wrong whatsoever. So,
just as much for you as they are for the slaughterhouse or wherever you're
well, Deck, let's ask you a question as you're so active right now. You just seen cows going to their death. How do you justify it? Give me a good reason, a proper good reason, why this should continue. One that will challenge me. One that I'm not just going to debunk by, something like, ooh, tasty. So I can just be like, taste isn't important. Give us your best argument for it. Yeah, I know. It's not good kind of use of police time, to be honest. I mean, we're not doing anything but chatting. Where do we get the nutrients we need to survive if we don't eat meat? Our bodies aren't designed for us to survive on vegan food. Great question. So that's actually a misconception. We could actually get everything we need from plant-based sources. The only thing I'd recommend supplementing would be vitamin B12, which is more of a food problem than a vegan problem. We just don't get that natural thing. We used to get our food from the soil and soil's tree and all this kind of days. We just don't get it as much. But you can get B12 supplements. Even farm animals are supplemented with B12 quite regularly these days. So I would definitely recommend, there's a paper by the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, which are the biggest health and nutrition organisation on the planet. And they have done a peer-reviewed statement to say that a vegan, plant-based diet is completely nutritionally adequate. You can get everything you need from plants. And that is backed by the NHS. It's backed by pretty much the majority of the world's health organisations. So you don't really need to worry about it. There's a lot of scaremongering and everything. I haven't eaten meat since 2002. Been vegan for over a decade. I'm doing absolutely fine. I know vegans that have been vegan since the 70s. It's not a problem. It's just something that is put out there by the industry because they want people to be like, oh no, you're going to fade away if you don't eat meat. You're really not. Quick bit of research and you'll find everything you need. It's absolutely fine. Yeah, and you're right. B12 can be found in things. I would still recommend taking the supplement though, just to be sure. I mean, I don't regularly supplement B12. I'd rather kind of advise that you do though. All right, let's go and check out and speak to the police anyway, see what's going on.
We're just doing a live stream so we can show people the reality, because most people never see like a slaughterhouse. It doesn't look like a slaughterhouse, it just looks like almost a school. So we just
came
need the
this morning.
transparency, yeah.
We came this morning and spoke to the guy over there, and said, because we've never been here before, so we said, where's the public land? He said, public land from this line here, so we're staying here. We asked if they'd stop the trucks, it didn't seem to be very compliant, which don't expect them to, but sometimes you get a good person who says, yeah, all right, we'll stop the trucks, and allows you to film. So we know the parameters we have to work with him, so we'll just do that, just optimise it for the animals for the vehicle.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm up with that. Ultimately, the reason we don't like to stop the trucks where we are here is the situation we've had before is ultimately when the trucks start to pile up, it causes an issue on the main road there. As in, when trucks are coming in, we've had them stopped, and then we've had crashes and stuff because of that. That's what we try and prevent, but you're well within your rights to take the videos and things to do.
Not a lot happening with the police. They're basically saying it's fine to do what we're doing. We're not breaking any laws or anything. So yeah, all good. They're all compliant, which is good. Let me just catch up on some of the chat here. Deck, I justify it as a way to eat. That's like the most awful argument for exploiting and killing someone. I could say the same. I could be murdering humans and say, well, sorry, I justify that as a way to eat, and you wouldn't be able to argue against me because you're using the same argument. So, yeah. But we can't get natural vitamins from vegan food. Yes, you can. I've just explained that. Do you eat eggs? No, we don't eat eggs. We can talk about eggs if eggs is something you're interested in learning about. So, first thing to kind of learn about the egg industry. So, chickens that lay eggs are laying about 300 eggs a year. Now, a bit earlier, some of you that have been on the stream for a while, you heard me talking about how kind of man-made animals, as I've called them. Egg chickens are a perfect example of that. These chickens are descendants of the red jungle fowl. They've been genetically, selectively bred over the years to go from laying about 13 eggs a year to 300 eggs a year, which is, you can imagine what that does to their body. It's extremely strenuous for them to do that. So that's an issue straight away with that. Then what you've got to realise is once these chickens their output drops and they're not laying as much, what happens to them? They're not living their lives, they're getting sent to the slaughterhouse and killed. So this is why the egg industry is bad. And we've got to realise these eggs are the chickens. They're not ours. Why do we need to be eating something that comes out of their combined butt vagina? Like, that's what it is. It's called a cloaca. Go look it up. Why are we eating these things? We don't need to. Eggs are completely unnecessary. So the industry is horrific. What happens to them? We shouldn't be using animals for our own gain, regardless what kind of farms they're coming from. We don't need them in any way for nutrition or anything like that. And it's just weird, man. I never liked eggs even before I became vegetarian. I was always I always found them weird. So. Okay, I keep chickens. My sister is a poultry vet. Laying that many eggs is fine for them. They've been bred for exactly that reason. Just because they've been bred for that reason doesn't mean they should be doing it, Ben. Like, you ask if your sister's a poultry vet, ask her about egg peritonitis, where they get the eggs stuck inside them. Like, the red jungle fowl ain't having that problem. This is because they produce too much and because of how their body now works. They've been built in this way to produce for us, which is completely unnatural to them. We shouldn't be breeding animals into existence that are producing 300 eggs. Like, this is not benefiting them in any way at all. So it's worth considering that.
Instagram, just message us and we can part of the live stream, and you can go as much as you possibly can. The animals.
Right. Anyone got any other valid questions?
It's amazing because this kind of place is
So yeah, just to reiterate for anyone new, we're outside a slaughterhouse, cow slaughterhouse in Bedford. We've seen one truck come in so far. Those cows will probably be going into the layerage right now. So this is kind of explaining kind of what happens. So they've come in on the trucks. They'll then be loaded off into a kind of holding pen. And then depending on how busy the slaughterhouse is, I mean, this is the only truck that's come in, so I'd imagine they're probably going to get to them fairly quickly. They'll go into basically essentially a run, which is basically like a really small kind of lane, kind of individually go down there into what's known as the knock box individually, where they'll have a bolt gun, which is basically a gun with a metal pin inside it, which will then penetrate their skull and basically essentially knocks them out, sometimes kills them. And then they'll be hung upside down and have their throat slit, head cut off, cut into pieces. That's what happens in this place. That's what happens. They never show you. The only people, think about this, right? If slaughterhouses were so humane, why is the only footage you ever see inside slaughterhouses from activists? Because we sneak in there and get the footage and set up cameras. Why don't they publicly show everybody? It's worth asking. Connor, I've been vegan for over 10 years. More definitely than when I was eating animals such as my ex was got better. Great, that's great, Connor. Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't advocate veganism for the health reasons, but yeah, a plant-based diet is very healthy. I mean, what does everyone say when you're a kid? Eat your veggies, right? Eat your fruit and veggies. So yeah, if you are interested in health, then look into the plant-based diet, you know, if that's your way in, you know, and then research what happens to those animals. Rihanna's running down. Oh, we got another truck coming. Truck, guys! Okay, we've got another small trailer coming in. This is like a smaller farm. Yeah, that's right. I'm kind of used to it here. Yeah, so as you can see, they don't really... They probably won't say anything. Yeah, trucks regularly drive at us in this place. They don't like us. But anyway, let's not talk about dickheads. Let's talk about what's important. So yeah, let's not talk about the dickheads. Let's talk about what's important anyway. So we could see, I believe, that was a dairy cow. Was that a dairy cow? Yeah. Did you see? Was it a dairy cow? Was it a dairy cow? It was a dairy cow. Okay. So yeah. So we were talking on the stream earlier about how, you know, a lot of people were expecting all these animals just to be, you know, beef cows, but you also get dairy cows in. A lot of people think that dairy is all fine and nothing's wrong with that. It's just, you know, just the milk. This is where they all end up. You've got to remember, this is a business, and you know, once these animals don't produce enough to be profitable, they get sent to a slaughterhouse. And that was an example of it. Hopefully you saw her. Sorry, bear with me 2 seconds. I'm just trying to get the phone back in the holder here. But again, so that poor, let's talk about the life of that cow. So that mother dairy cow, this is how her life would have been. She would have been bred into existence from another dairy mother. Then as soon as she can, she'll be impregnated. And this is normally done by AI. So a lot of people think, you know, there are farms that still do it, put a bull in a pen with them to try and breed. But normally it's done through artificial insemination. So basically what they do is they insert a hand into her anus, another hand into her vagina to position the cervix, and they basically inject her with bull semen to force her into a pregnancy. Once she goes through that pregnancy and gives birth to the calf will be removed from her. The calf will be taken away because that milk is profit. That milk is for us, not for that baby cow. That baby cow will just be given formula. She will then, once she's kind of recovered from that, go have that process happen again, and then again, and then again, and then again, around 5 to 6 times. I think, sorry, Rianne's getting attacked by a fly or something. So yeah, so she'll be made to go through that process again and again and again. And as soon as she can't give any more, off to the slaughterhouse. And that again will be at a fraction of her age. I think the average life, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's about 6 to 8 years for a dairy cow. And then they're sent to slaughter. If I'm wrong, if someone knows, please put it in the chat. They can live for 25 years. So all that cow that's just gone in, her whole life she's been exploited for her children, for a reproductive system, to produce milk, so we can put it on our cornflakes, or put it on our tea, and then her thanks is getting a head cut off. How is that ethical? How is that okay? How do we justify that? I don't think we can. I really don't think we can. Let's talk about the life of the cow without farming. Yeah, okay, let's talk about them. She wouldn't have been bred into existence in the first place to be used. Do you think it's okay? Look at Ben, let's test the logical consistency. Is it okay if we brought a child into the world to be trafficked because they wouldn't have had a life otherwise? Would it be okay to bring a dog into existence just so we can beat them because they wouldn't have had a life otherwise? Would it be okay to bring just another human into existence to be a slave? Would that be okay because otherwise they wouldn't have existed? Clearly not. This is not about whether we eat dogs or children, and in some countries we do eat dogs. This is about whether it's ethical to say that it's okay to bring someone into the world and give them a purpose. This is logical consistency, Ben. You can't be for it in some situations and against it in other situations. Okay, that's not how it works. It's a bad argument. Deck's still triggered, talking about McMuffins now. Deck, ask some proper questions. Come on, we're bored of your trolling. Yeah, Deck thinks he's the first one to come into a vegan chat. Is that another trot? Oh yeah, another trot. Okay, hold on. I don't know how much we're going to see. So that's been the third truck that's come in now. So any ideas, if we're going to make a guess of how many cows were on there, what would you say?
There's quite a lot on that
Could be
one.
20 on there, maybe 2 layers. Was it 2 layers?
2 layers?
Maybe like 40.
40, okay.
Same in the first one,
Yeah,
potentially.
between...
So maybe 45.
Yeah, so we'd say between 30 to 40, something like that. So that was another 30 to 40 cows gone in. We had the dairy cow, which I think she may have been on her own. Did you see whether the trailer?
Herself,
Yeah. So we had the individual dairy cow, and then we had the other truck come in, which would probably have about the same amount.
Yeah.
So we've probably seen a rough estimate around 70, about 70. They're all dairy, were they? Okay.
No.
So we were talking about dairy a minute ago. All those animals, all those mothers,
Oh, beef. They're beef.
all been exploited for their whole life. This is the thanks they get. That's right. Give me 2 seconds.
Really good position. Well done for that.
Okay, it's okay. Ben's saying it's humane as it can be. Okay, is that good enough? When we could just choose not to do it at all. Like that's silly. That's me saying like, there's a child here. Instead of punching him, I'm just going to slap him because it's just more humane. It's better. But I could just not slap him at all. You see, it's just not a good argument. Like we can just not do it at all. Just leave them alone. Right, let's see what else he's saying. Ben, a cow or chicken today isn't the same as a cow or chicken from 2,000 years ago. Correct. We have selectively bred them specifically to farm and eat them, considering that and the volume of food. Well, Ben, yeah, you just kind of, back to what I said there. We have selectively bred them to be how they are, okay? But we don't need them, and I think that's the point I'm trying to get people to realise. We don't need to be doing this at all. We can live completely fine without doing any of this. and we should try and move away from it. Think about it this way, right? If there's an option that we can move to a world which is kinder to animals, which ain't going to be putting them through this, why wouldn't we do it? What real reason is there not to do this? Besides just our own selfish wants and everything, and just the fact that we've done it for a long time and it's become a norm. If we don't need to do it, we should stop it. Like, it's not benefiting anybody at all. Okay, Deck. Okay, you want a proper question? Yes, I would love a proper question, Deck. Here's one. What do you reckon would happen to humans if we stop producing meat? Well, if we stop producing meat and we transitioned to a plant-based system. What's that? Oh, apparently the truck that was almost got me then is getting told off by the police. He seems quite angry. I'm not going to focus on him though. I can't be bothered to focus on people. I'd rather just focus on the animals. I want to answer Deck's question. So, Deck, let's go back to your question. If we stopped producing meat, we would move to a plant-based system and everyone would just eat the plant-based foods. That's it. It's as simple as that. And there'll be tons of benefits to this as well. One, less land use, less resource use in general, less water, less everything. Okay? All these animals won't be getting sent to slaughterhouses. I'm not seeing where the problem would be with this. Like, as I've stated before, plant-based is completely nutritionally adequate. It's absolutely fine. It's only going to get more nutritionally adequate as well. Like, obviously, all plant. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, all the plant-based milks and everything already have, fortified with B12 and all that kind of stuff. Same as all the animal-based milks and everything. It's just not really an argument. I don't really know what else to say to that, to be honest. Hope I answered it anyway. But I mean, if there's anything you want me to elaborate on, let me know. Okay, Bruce. Okay. That's the angry truck driver. I mean, just to say something about him, he's having a go at me for standing in the road. But if he drove properly and didn't drive like a maniac down the road, it wouldn't have been a problem. And he would have just gone slowly past me like any other driver at any other time. But yeah. Shouldn't be driving that quickly with a cow in the trailer. That's what I would say. Anyway, back to your questions. So you're talking about it's okay. No, none of it is okay, but it's not a nice fantasy world. Also, if we hadn't a use for cows, they'd likely be extinct. Okay, we did talk about this earlier, but I will reiterate again because I know everyone's not been tuned in. So the cows that we are killing for meat are basically man-made domesticated animals, right? If we got rid of all of them, it wouldn't mean cows are extinct. It would just mean that those domesticated ones that didn't really exist in the first place would just not be bred. We'd still have cows in the world. Cows wouldn't go extinct. We'd just have the natural wild cows in the world. And what's the purpose for continuing them? I mean, an example I like to use is, remember the story of Frankenstein's monster? So, if you don't know, this mad professor guy basically creates this monster. Frankenstein's the doctor, isn't he? He creates this monster. Just because he exists now, do we now have a moral obligation to keep making sure there's more of them? Should we immediately breed them and carry them on? No, of course not. If their whole life just revolves around being exploited, we're not benefiting them. We're not doing anything for them. This isn't, this is what I think what people have got to realise, this isn't conservation. Farming isn't a conservation charity. We're not doing any benefit to these animals whatsoever. We should be looking after the ones that are out in the wild already. Which, to be honest, farming is not helping because of the amount of land and the amount of destruction we're doing. You might not know, but animal farming is one of the biggest causes of species extinction, which is pretty scary. So, yeah, if we want to help animals, we shouldn't just be breeding them and keeping them around. Right, I was going to have a drink for a sec. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. to try and get some more people in here. I'm really thankful for all you guys for sticking around, even if you are being a troll or whatever. Like, I feel like, to be honest, I feel like I've got a good group of people in. Like, I've been in live streams before where people have been a hell of a lot more triggered and a lot more talking crap. So I really appreciate that, even if you don't agree with me, that we can have a conversation and be civil. That's great. That's what I'm here for. I'm not really interested in people spamming emojis and stuff like that. It doesn't interest me whatsoever. I mean, all you're doing is helping boost the video in the YouTube algorithm. So thanks if you do that. But I'd rather just have conversation and we can chat. You can disagree with me as much as you want, fire any questions you want, and like I said, I'll happily answer. Hopefully I've answered all your questions. If I have missed anything, please post your question again. I'll happily get to it. But yeah, let's just keep discussing and let's see if any more trucks come in. Like I said, I think we've had about 70 cows come in total. At least half of those has been dairy cows so far. You got to think about it, this is just one slaughterhouse in one part of the world. Every day this is happening to millions and millions and millions and millions of animals. Every second of every day. And it doesn't need to happen. Bruce. I've been a vegetarian for 20 years, but I can't be vegan. I appreciate a good leather jacket and nice cheese too much. Okay, Bruce, let's have a proper chat, Bruce. So I was vegetarian for 15, so I get it. I was probably the same as you, thinking the same thing, and cheese was a big thing for me as well. Okay, I used to love cheese. One thing to realise, actually, you might find quite interesting, the reason we love cheese, it's addictive. It's got a casomorphine in, which is why the world is addicted to cheese. It is essentially in there to help the calf, want to come and suckle from the mum. You're addicted to the cheese. Okay, you just need to get off the cheese and you'll realise it's fine. In fact, I barely even eat the vegan cheese anymore. You realise you don't need it. You don't at all. It's not a necessity. There are so much more other foods we can eat. You don't need it. You might appreciate a good leather jacket, but think about this. You're a vegetarian. Okay, you're against the killing of those cows for meat, but you're okay wearing their skin. Isn't that a contradiction of your own morals? The thing we've got to realise is vegetarianism is inconsistent. Really? It's a bit of a lie. It's a bit of a con. And I'm saying this as someone who was vegetarian myself. Once you start to realise, because it's just eliminating one part. It'd be no different to someone saying, well, I don't eat eggs. Or I don't eat dairy. You're eliminating just one small part. All veganism is you're recognising the entire system. You're recognising that animals are being harmed for meat, for dairy, for clothing, scientific experimentation, for entertainment purposes, in the pet trade. You start to realise the whole system is horrific, and you go, I'm not going to do it. And if you went vegetarian for moral reasons, for ethical reasons, because you love animals, that exact same reason is why you should be vegan. And once you do it, you'll realise. You'll kind of be like, I get it. And it's not that hard, honestly. One of the biggest reasons I didn't go vegan for so long, I thought vegan would be too hard. And I did it, and it was the biggest anticlimax ever. I was like, oh my God, this is so easy. It's really, really not that hard. You'll be fine. So yeah, I would really recommend, if you are, you're doing it for the right reasons, you're, ethical vegetarian, as we say, then you should be vegan. You should, and I'm happy to help. If you need to ask any questions, feel free. There's some other vegans in the chat as well. Let's talk about it. Talk about your struggles, anything, let's go for it. What are your glasses made of? Why would that matter? Okay, Deck, this is what I'd like to say to you, okay? My glasses could be made of animal bone, okay? I could be eating meat. This could actually be blood. I could be a hunter. You can make me out to be the biggest hypocrite you want, okay? Chuck whatever you want at me. It doesn't debunk anything I'm saying. I could still be right. I could still be, you could be like, oh my God, your glasses have got, I don't know, a bit of bug in them or something. It doesn't mean that my argument for stopping harming animals is wrong. It might mean I might have some improvements I need to make in my own life, but I'll admit that. But it doesn't debunk anything. It's known as what's known as a appeal to hypocrisy. Okay, so you can make me out to be the biggest hypocrite you want. It doesn't debunk anything I've said. It doesn't now mean that the dairy industry is okay. The meat industry is okay. That using animals for testing is okay. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a baseless thing. But if you've got a proper argument about my glasses, feel free. From what I know, it's just, plastic. Right, we've got another truck coming in. I don't think we're going to see much though. You'll see as it goes past, the slats are really, really high. See, unfortunately, we're not really going to see much with them. But, oh, okay. Well, hold on. We have got some footage. Is this from the last truck, is it? Yeah. Okay, Mel's got some footage so you can actually see a little bit more.
Interesting concept, guys.
Oh, sorry. Why? This is the last truck that went in.
Consider yourself a consumer right now. Why have the industry phoned the police? Why have the industry got these gates?
Okay, so you can see a couple of noses there. I'm sorry it's not too clear on the camera here.
What are they hiding from you? Why don't
Then I got it in at the end.
If the industry was completely
Okay, yeah, here you go. See, each one of these animals is their own individual that doesn't want to die. They're all about 18 months old. 18 months, they live for about 20 to 25 years. Some of them are going to be dead by the end of this live stream. Could even be dead now. I don't know how quickly they're putting them through. How do we justify it? This is a discussion we need to have today. How do we justify using and exploiting animals? Right, see what else we got in here. Stacey, cheese was my reasoning for a while. It just takes a week or two without it, you won't crave it more. Yeah, it really is like, to use I don't know if it's a vegan phrase, going cold turkey. I don't think it's a vegan phrase, you know what I mean? Yeah, kind of get out of your system, you really don't care. You really don't. Yeah, there are vegan leather jackets. Yeah, there's plenty of vegan options when it comes to clothing. I was saying what your glass is made of. If you're vegan, it shouldn't be an issue. I mean, from what I know, there are no issues with glasses and animal products, which is why I don't look into it. I mean, if you think there is, please send me the information. I will happily make sure I get different glasses. But I don't know of any issues with glasses not being vegan with these. What's the animal product in them? Stacey, I've looked into the dairy and egg industries. Things like cheese are no longer a food to me. You view things completely differently when you see the victims linked to the products. Very well put, Stacey. You do. You start to look at it and you see what are we doing? How is this food? How is cow's breast milk, congealed cow's breast milk, a food? Why are we looking at it for a food? Why are we looking at something that comes out of a chicken's butt as food? Yeah, you do start to see it as for what it is, and it starts to become a bit weird, doesn't it? All these animals would never existed if it wasn't for the food industry. We've covered this one, but I'll cover it again for those of you new. That doesn't matter. They're not having a good life. They've been brought into the world to be exploited. You wouldn't agree if we brought you into the world to become a slave and say, well, sorry, you wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for the industry that made you a slave. You'd be like, well, that's not fair. It's not fair to do that to others either. Best thing to do is not bring them into existence in the first place just to exploit. That's not having a life. Tone, there are no issue with plastic glasses. There you go. Tone in with the information.
I do not respect that person one bit. When you know the violence that you perpetuate towards animals and you continue to do it, I can't respect you.
Ben, this has been interesting. Chris, you're a good speaker. A few people in the comments offering good points. Haven't been convinced today, but support what you guys are doing. See you. Ben, super respect the fact you came in. Hopefully, if anything, I've just given you something to think about. Really recommend, if you're still watching, there's a documentary on YouTube called Dominion. Really recommend watching that. I think that will really open your eyes. And if I do any other streams, please feel free to come in. Let's continue this conversation. I respect you coming in and asking decent questions, not being a troll. This is what we need to do. Even if we disagree, we can have a conversation, right? So thank you very much, Ben, for coming in. Yeah, hopefully we'll chat again and maybe you change your mind. We'll see. Yeah, if anyone else has got any other questions, we've got 42 people in now, which is great. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. It does help boost this video in the algorithm, so we can reach more people. Let's see if we can get up to 100 if we can. We're going to be here for a little while yet. And again, probably I've got a few new people in, but we are outside a slaughterhouse, a cow slaughterhouse in Bedfordshire, UK, where we're going to try and show you the animals as they come in, and then we're going to discuss whether what's happening to them inside is justified and how we can move to a world where we are kinder to animals in all respects. This isn't just about meat, this is about respect to animals, whether it's for meat, dairy, clothing, entertainment, the pet trade, using animals, thinking we're above those animals, being human supremacists, so to speak. You know.
Right, Alex, thank you very much for your super.
So yeah, if you've got any other questions or just want to say hi or anything, feel free. Go and follow Mel and Steve. They're currently streaming as well. It's Mel and Steve on all platforms.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. I've got a mic on, so my one will be talking on there, but go vegan.
The wise words of Mel there. Yeah, Tone, that's a good thing to say there. Someone that doesn't exist doesn't care they never existed. Exactly. It's not ethical to bring someone into the world. You know, think about this, actually. I'm going to put this in a different way. How is it ethical to bring someone into the world where you set the date of their execution on the day of their birth? How is that ever fine? Because they already know. As soon as they're born, they're like, right, 18 months, whatever, give or take, you're off, head cut off. How's that okay? Not to say that we shouldn't have them. You can have these conversations, but not today. So we've got 39 people in. Thanks for a few people who liked it again as well. If anyone else can like the stream, feel free. Or if you are on social media, if you can share, even better. Because what we're basically doing, just to kind of give you an indication of some of the vegans in here as well. So Mel and Steve over here, let's give them a point again. They are encouraging everyone to start doing this more often. So get as many people as we can live streaming outside of slaughterhouses. They've been having really great results with this. You know, some of their streams hitting like 100,000 views, which is insane. So I thought I'd get on board as I was down with them. I used to stream all the time back in the day when I've been so caught up in other animal rights projects. But I thought, no, let's give it a go today. Let's get back into it and everything. And yeah, if you'd like to get involved, please hop over to their Instagram. It's Mel and Steve Project Live Stream. That's what they're doing. They're having a kind of day where they're trying to get as many people to do it as possible. I think it's on August 22nd. So if you'd like to get involved, drop them a message. They can run you through everything. And yeah, let's do it. So Joseph has a quote here. We're all slaves. We all work. The animal never knows when they're going to be killed. They don't know. So the life they have in the field is a life. It's not a human life, but it is a life. Yeah, but we're kind of slaves in a different way. You can quit your job if you want to. You have some say in your life. Like, you're not born into the world and someone's already gone, you're going to die on this day, or anything like that. You have some element of freedom, right? Like, I know there's an argument we can say, well, I'll be free because of this, and this. But I'd say compared to animals in factory farms and animals in laboratories and all that kind of stuff, we're extremely free compared to them. Okay? And like I said, it's not right to bring an animal into the world to exploit just on the basis of saying, oh, but they'll get a few days of good life. Who's even to say they're going to have a good life? I'm sorry, but I've been on a lot of these farms and seen what happens to these animals. There's no guarantee they're going to have a good life. A lot of these animals as well have been, selectively bred to have inherent problems. Chickens will grow from a chick to a full-grown chicken in 6 to 8 weeks. How's that a good life? How are they having a good life? How are dairy mums having a good life being forced into pregnancy? How is that a good life? How are pig mothers having a good life stuck in farrowing crates? None of this is good, man. None of this is good. Best thing we can do is not breed them into existence to exploit. Doesn't matter if we've got wild cows in this country, they exist, right? Why do we need wild cows over here? We don't. Let them exist where they are. Let's stop breeding them into into perpetual violence and exploitation. Look after the ones that are here already, the ones living out in the wild the best they can. Let's protect them. I had tofu pad thai for dinner. Good choice. Always do well with pad thai. Great choice. Documentary Dominion, yes. Any non-vegans or vegetarians, anybody who wants to learn more about this topic, Dominion. It's let's talk a bit about Dominion. So Dominion is basically the biggest expose of farming in history. It's all based in Australia, but that doesn't mean it's something you should discredit, because Australian legislation and welfare is basically the same as it is over here, and the same as it is in most European countries and the US. It's pretty much identical. There will be the odd few differences, but the majority of it is going to be exactly the same. It runs through animal by animal, exactly what we do to these animals, their lives, everything, whether it's, anything from what we do to cows, pigs, chickens, to horses, mice. Obviously, they've even got Australian animals, kangaroos, camels, all the different animals, all the ways we exploit them. By the end of that film, you'll understand. You'll understand why we're here. You'll understand why this is a huge issue. I mean, it's one of the most pressing issues on this planet. It is the biggest kind of, the amount of lives being lost is just unfathomable. We're talking trillions of lives. There are more animals being killed per year than the amount of humans to have ever existed in the entire history of mankind. Every single year. This is a problem that we need to be aware of. It's not benefiting us. It's not benefiting the animals. It's not benefiting the planet. It's working for no one. We need to change. We should be better. We should be better as people. Yeah, Land, Hope and Glory. Great shout, Connor. It's basically the UK version of Dominion on a bit of a smaller scale. But yeah, very, very good watch. There's actually some footage in there that I filmed myself. You're still getting attacked by a fly or a wasp. Yeah, definitely worth watching if you're from the UK. We'll give you a good view of what we're doing. But again, Dominion is all standard practice. It's all pretty much going to be the same. They've also got a really good website called Farm Transparency. If you check out that website, you can actually, they've mapped out where all the farms are in Australia, and you can click on the individual farms and see the footage from those farms, which is quite amazing. They're doing amazing work over there, really exposing what this industry is about and everything. And it ain't about looking after animals, trust me. That documentary helped you go vegan. Nice. That's awesome. I stream Dominion on Discord all the time. Yeah, really good plan. Really good plan. Audio, Jesus love you. I think you're a great person. Much love. Keep up the work. Health and happiness. Thank you, Audio. I really appreciate that. Yeah, much love to you as well. And yeah, hope you enjoy the rest of your day if you're heading off. But yeah, if anyone's got any other questions, I don't know, maybe people can let us know if you're watching. I mean, we've definitely got quite a lot of silent watchers. We've got 36 people in here. Let us know, are you already a vegan? Are you a vegetarian? Are you a meat eater? Are you a carnivore dieter? Are you a farmer? Let us know, or let us know where you're from. It'd be really great to see where people are kind of tuning in from and everything, and then maybe we can see where we can have some discussions. If you've got any questions, you want to challenge me on anything, feel free. I'll happily answer anything. And yeah, let's have a chat. Let's do it. But again, if you're new to the stream, we're in Bedford at a cow slaughterhouse. We've already seen probably about 100 lives go in, and a lot of those lives would already have been taken already. They'll be no longer with us. So if you did see them on the stream, that'll be the last you'll see of them, unless they're wrapped in plastic in a supermarket. Nice, you go 28, it was 10 earlier. Yeah, it's gone up, which is great. It's really great. Yeah, thank you for the support regardless. Yeah, really appreciate it. But yeah. Just gonna have a drink and have a break for a second.
They don't even have to hype it up for you. If they just told you the truth, if they told you
what's that?
The truth,
oh, you're gonna head off, are you? Oh, no worries. Let's have a chat soon about the chickens. Yeah, great stuff.
Oh, it's so nice. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, see you later, mate.
So,
Right, I am back, right. I'm pretty tired. I've only had like a few hours sleep as well, so I'm actually impressed I've managed to keep this up so well. So it's all good. Oops, okay. Stacey, you're 27 years vegetarian, 8 years vegan. Never eaten an animal. So were you vegetarian from birth, Stacey? That's interesting. Watching from Hull, East Yorkshire. Cool, thank you so much for tuning in and supporting, Stacey. Yeah, there are tons of people in the world, which some people don't realise, that haven't eaten meat since the day they were born. And they're doing fine. You know, all this kind of, we need meat and everything. Well, why aren't all these people dead? Why aren't hospitals full of vegetarians and vegans? Yeah, it doesn't work like that. It really doesn't work. Yeah, Stacey, what was it, I can't remember if you said, what was it that made you go from vegetarian to vegan? What was the catalyst? You might have told me already, but there's been a lot of chat. To me, the catalyst, so I'll kind of tell you my kind of... Oh, the police are kind of back.
You show like the animal rights activists who are here doing this. I'd like to think you've spoken to you quite politely and we've not been rude. That just shows you the British farmers, right? It just shows you who you're up against. The way they came out and spoke to you, the aggression and everything that came with it. Who's the real aggressor here?
I mean, as you know, I can't share any comments, can't say, I've just got to stay here.
Offloading.
I've just got to stay here and keep the peace. No, I get that, I get the frustration. Again, appreciate you being calm and chilled with me. The question I want to ask is what sort of time are you thinking of staying here till?
Till it closes.
Till it closes.
We'll be here all day if we have to. We're here for the animals. We're not here one thing we're not going to be doing is negotiating, we'll be here for 2 hours and I don't want them to know when I'm going to stop. I could be here till 10 o'clock tonight. I might come back tomorrow. I could come back Monday. Well,
I'm finished at 6, man. Come on.
Even for you. Because we start telling people what we're doing and when we're going to stop. They start holding trucks off. They do it a lot. We know how these places work. They hold trucks back. They don't bring the trucks in. They play all sorts of games. So, we've got enough battery to last us for another 9 hours. So if that's how long it takes, we'll be here. The objective of today is to get the animals seen. So that's what we've got to do. So yeah. Yeah.
So to answer your question, forever.
Forever. Yeah, until they stop bringing animals inside that gate, we're going to be here effectively.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Are they going to negotiate at all, give us a safe space to stand?
We've had a conversation about it. It might be something we consider going forward, but ultimately, from what they've told me, I've seen the delivery schedule. I'm fairly certain there's only a couple more coming through.
They always tell us that.
Yeah, no, see, I've seen it. So
Hmm.
I think there's 2 or 3 left. I think the worst has happened. I've been to this site a few times. I'm sure you've seen this site. People have been and done things at this site before. Most of their deliveries are morning anyway. I've seen it. There's, I think, 3. I can't remember if one's just come.
About 3 or 4 today.
I think there was 4.
I think it was
there's
4.
3. So there's either between 2 and 4 left. I don't know what their timings are. I can't tell you what their timings are, but they'll be hopefully done within that amount of time, and then at that point the gates close and it goes from there. So sweet. Awesome.
Well, we're here just doing the same as we are now.
Yeah,
so.
Enjoy, just keep yourself safe. And
Yep,
We'll do. Thanks for talking to them.
no worries.
Yeah, so I mean, the police-
Cool, so yeah, police have been all reasonable. Just said be safe and everything, and yeah, all good. Right, anyway, got some messages here. Let's go back. So, Stacey, yes, veggie from birth. Okay, my mum raised me veggie. Now I've turned her vegan. Good work. James Aspie's speech. Okay, great. And realise how bad the dairy and egg industries are. I've always been an animal lover. Yeah, same with me. Like, I've always been a huge animal lover. I just wish I'd known what was going on so much sooner. Actually, I can tell you a funny story. So, I went vegetarian because of a punk band called Goldfinger. And they had a song called Free Me. Probably a few months after I became vegetarian, I actually met the singer of the band, and he gave me some animal rights leaflets, and he signed them, and I stuck them on my wall. And they'd been there for years and years and years on my wall. Still up there today. The annoying thing, one of those leaflets was a why vegan leaflet, and I didn't read it. I thought I was doing enough. Because I'd just gone vegetarian, I thought that was it. I thought that's what I need to do. not supporting the meat industry anymore. All good, everything. If I'd read that leaflet, I would have gone vegan 15 years faster. And I really regret not reading. Oh my God, it's like one of my biggest regrets, not reading that damn leaflet. But what can I do? I got there eventually, right? Yeah, I'd really advise anyone who's vegetarian, read the leaflet. Listen to the vegans, trust me. You'll just be the same as me and Stacey. I'll just be looking back going, why on earth did we not read that so much sooner? Well, I'm just going to go grab my bag quickly. So I've kind of just left it over here. Okay. So we just got to get out of the road, there's a truck coming. Okay, and we're back. So we'll point out this way, because then you can see if trucks are coming down and makes a bit more sense. Melody, I was vegan for 17 years. Got pregnant and craved meat. I will never not eat meat again. Well, what, Melody? Let's have a discussion about that, because that's interesting. Okay, so you had a craving and you gave into that craving and eat meat. Okay, you're clearly not pregnant anymore. Why have you now decided to continue that when you clearly know, if you've been vegan for 17 years, what harm that is causing? I'll be interested to know your thoughts. Stacey, I thought I was doing enough too. Yeah, I've heard of the band, but not that song. Yeah, Free Me. The song is on an album called Open Your Eyes. They've actually got a song on there as well called Open Your Eyes, which is got some references to animal rights, and also a song called Fuck Ted Nugent, which calls out Ted Nugent for hunting, Jennifer Lopez for wearing mink eyelashes, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, great animal rights band. Yeah, I'm confused by you, Melody, currently. I'm interested to hear your story, though, if you want to say. Plant Geezer in the house. How you doing, buddy? Okay, everyone, please go and follow Plant Geezer. Absolute legend. You'll enjoy his videos where he just runs into farms. Just runs around them and to show people what are going on. Like, he's kind of like the undercover investigator, which isn't undercover. Just like, nah, I'm just going to go for a run through a pig farm. Just so you know, he's not causing any harm or anything. He's just going in, just showing people what's going on, and then he runs out. That's it. Yeah, please go follow Jake on all platforms, YouTube, Instagram, whatever else he's on. Go for it. Feel free to spam yourself. Actually, we should make the Plant Geezer.
Because for them, they want to wipe their hands clean, they want to get their paycheck.
There you go, I've made you a mod, mate. I don't know if I've even got any mods. Actually, I know I've got a couple of mods. You probably don't need to mod, to be honest, though. Everyone's being pretty cool in here. So I don't think you're going to need to worry, but you know, I'll give you the ban hammer just in case, but to be fair, everyone's been super nice. It's been a very, very constructive stream at the moment. Minimal trolls, which has been great. So yeah, if anyone else has got any other questions or anything, we've got 35 people watching, so introduce yourself, people. I know not everyone can. I don't know what you're doing. Maybe you're at work or something, watching this on the sly or something. Or just hit the like button or whatever, and let's get some more people in here. If you have got a good social media following or whatever, if you can share this, get more people in there. Let's show as many people as possible. Yeah, send it to your family, friends, whoever. Yeah, let's really try and educate as many people as possible. So again, if you are new to the stream, we're at a cow slaughterhouse in Bedford, and we've already seen 4 trucks go in. So that's approximately 100 cows that are now inside waiting to be killed. If you're not familiar with how cows are killed, because obviously we spoke about it a bit earlier, generally the process will be, they will be bolt gunned in the head. So it's basically a kind of gun with like a big kind of metal pin. You put on the head, pressed, penetrate the skull, then they'll be hung upside down, throat slit, head will be cut off, cut into pieces, shipped out to wherever they need to go. No animal should be put through that. for something that we don't even need.
Now,
Completely
being
unnecessary.
Stabbed and murdered and begging for their life because you're not being deployed.
One individual literally bellowed as she went through the gates, and it just sounded like a cry for help.
By the way,
You come to these,
as we're talking about music, shout out to band on my t-shirt, To The Grave, amazing animal rights focus band. Please go and check them out. They're touring the UK next month, so please go and see them. Jake, thanks so much for sharing. We've got 51 people in now. We've had a bit of a boost, so I think that's probably from you guys sharing. So yeah, if you've just come in, please say hi. If you've got any questions at all, obviously we're outside a cow slaughterhouse in Bedford. So if you've got any questions about what we're doing here, why we're doing, what's going on inside, you want to know anything about animal rights, you want to know anything about vegan, you want to challenge me, maybe you don't agree with me, maybe you're a farmer, maybe you think I'm talking absolute shit, absolutely fine with that. Say what you want, let's have a chat about it. More than happy to be civil. All I want to do, the whole purpose is to just educate people, have a good chat, and try and get people just thinking more about what's going on with the animals. And again, it's beyond just this. This is one part of what we do to animals. We slaughter them for food, we use them for clothing, use them for entertainment, use them for scientific research. The pet trade. There's so many things. There's so many weird things you probably never think of as well. Like, did you know there is? I don't know if you're familiar with the animal, the civet. So with civets, there is they farm them to basically feed them coffee beans and have them ship them out to basically make shit coffee. Civet shit coffee. That is the thing. Beavers are exploited for their anal secretions and used in some vanilla flavouring. What the fuck are we doing? Like, I don't understand why we do this. It's insane. And it is, and the more you learn, the deeper and deeper it goes. It just goes so crazy. I'm just why are we doing this? We don't know why we're on this planet, but what we do know is that we're all here together. Whether we're human, whether we're a cow, or a pig, or a cat, or a donkey, whatever. We're all just here doing whatever we can on this earth. The least we can do, is just not fuck with them when they don't need to be, right? Just let them get on with their lives. We don't need to be doing any of this. It's unnecessary. It's just wrong. I don't understand it. And as some of you know, I've been an investigator for many years. I've been inside farms, been inside slaughterhouses, seen all this stuff firsthand. You're being lied to. There's no humane farming, there's no humane slaughter, it's all exploitation, it's all death. Michael Joseph, let who get on with their lives? Okay, yeah, so thank you so much for commenting first. The animals is what we're talking about. The animals that we've seen come in here, for example. I've had 100 cows come into this slaughterhouse so far, all being killed around, for the beef cows, around 18 months. For the dairy cows, depending, probably around 6 years. Bear in mind, they live for 25 years. How are we justifying these animals going in to get their heads chopped off? It's what we're talking about. Why can't we let animals just get on with their lives? Why are we breeding them into existence to exploit? Why are we using and abusing them in laboratories? Why are we turning them into clothing? Why are we using them for entertainment? What reason do we need to be doing this? How is it benefiting us? How is it benefiting them? How is it benefiting the world? It's not. It's not benefiting anyone. Who comes up with this stuff? People look at animals and think, how can they benefit us? Yeah, exactly, Stacey. Oh, we've got another truck. So I don't know how much we can see, but we'll give a go. So this is another truck coming into the slaughterhouse. The slats are up, so I don't think we're really going to see much, unfortunately. But once again, this is now the 5th truck that's come in. These are all cows that are going to have their head chopped off. Again, ask yourself, how is what's happening justified? How is that okay? How is it okay for these animals to be put inside this hellhole, to be chopped into pieces for something we don't even fucking need? That is why we're doing this stream. This is what we're talking about today.
Them slats are really difficult to see through the best of times.
You know, in there, I mean, that's a pretty big truck, so we'll probably say, I don't know, we'll ballpark, we'll say another 40 cows maybe. So that's what, about 140 lives have gone in here just this morning in this one slaughterhouse in one part of the world. Just cows. Like when you look at the numbers for some of the other animals, God, chickens. There's a slaughterhouse I've been to where they kill 1 million chickens a week. Every single week, 1 million chickens. Every year, fishing, 2.7 trillion marine animals are killed. 2.7 trillion. That's not even a number we can fathom. That's more than every human to have ever existed since the dawn of time. More than every human killed in every war we've ever had. In 1 year. Plumham and Jones, because I want beef burgers. I don't care what you want. A lot of people want a lot of things. Some people want to murder people. Doesn't mean they should, right? You can still have burgers that taste basically the same without this happening. Okay, you have a choice to do that. You can go, hey, yeah, this is wrong. I don't need to. We don't need to pay for these animals to go in here. We've got another option. Why would we not take it? How is this benefiting anything? You know, why are we doing this to these animals? What have they ever done? What have they ever done to us? Zero. Nothing. Never harmed us. So why are we so horrific to them? Why do we treat them with just such malice and just no care? No care for the fact that they want to live just like us. They might be different to us, but they're the same in every way that matters. And that's what you need to think about. They're sentient, they feel, they have a will to live. They have their families. They have all those things. Why are we taking that away from them? So I don't care if you want beef burgers, we can want whatever we want, okay? But it doesn't mean that we should, it doesn't mean it's moral, it doesn't mean it's right. And that's what I'm trying to get people to think about. No, they don't taste the same. Okay, let's just say they don't. Okay, let's just take your argument at face value. Let's say they don't taste the same. Who cares? Why does that matter? Why does a taste matter that much? Taste is not more important than their lives. I'm sorry to burst the bubble here, but it's not, is it? Like, it wouldn't be justified for me to kill Ross over here, behind me, if he tasted of chocolate milkshake. Just because I like chocolate milkshake, right? It's a stupid argument. And you know it's stupid. And you would never, ever, approve of that argument for any other thing. Ever. If someone was there trying to kill a child and say, oh yeah, but they taste of strawberry Nesquik, you're going to think they're a psycho, right? It's not a good argument.
Imagine how disappointed you'd be as a child.
Yeah, it's a pathetic excuse. And sometimes, you need to call people out on these excuses and make them realise that it is stupid. Now you compare a child to food. No, I didn't, Drew. Did you actually listen to what I said? Take a step back, listen to what I said. I didn't say compare a child to food. I'm using your justification. Your argument was that they taste good, so we can do this. So all I'm doing is changing the victim. That's all I'm doing. Change it from a cow to a child, to a dog, whatever I want. It's called logical consistency. You're accepting the argument in one part, but you're not accepting it in the other. But not really giving any kind of reason why. If you want to try and justify it, feel free. Why is it okay to do it to the cow, but not okay to do it to the child? What is the actual difference there that makes the difference? That would be your argument. But currently, you're just showing to be inconsistent. No, we don't need meat. If we needed meat, Stacey would be dead, who's in the chat. Hasn't eaten meat ever. Ever. She was born not eating meat. So, I'm sorry, that's just not a valid argument again. I haven't eaten meat myself since 2002. Been vegan now for over a decade. We don't need it. You know the reason you think you need it? The industry. The industry has told you need it. Think about this. Why do people need to drink milk? What do we get told all the time? Oh, you need it for calcium, right? You need it for this, you need it for this. I don't eat any dairy products. I'm not lacking in calcium. You can get calcium from plants. can get everything you need from plants. So I'm sorry, Drew, you can say you do as much as you want. It's factually incorrect. It's factually incorrect. If you want to go and kind of look this up yourself, look up the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, vegan, okay? And that will basically, that's the biggest organization as far as health and nutrition is concerned in the world. And they have got a peer-reviewed statement saying that a plant-based diet is nutritionally adequate, you can get everything you need. That's the scientific consensus. So you can say you do as much as you want, but you're going against the scientific consensus.
Same with anybody on here.
What does your views and beliefs trump our rights to eat meat? Andrew, all I'm doing here is giving an opinion. Okay, I'm not forcing you to do anything. I'm trying to get you to think about what you're doing and get you to question things. Okay? That's it. You've got your views, I'm listening to your views.
It's not propaganda, it's pure.
I've got my views, you're listening to my views. That's it, right?
What happens,
But the thing is, it's not about why my views and beliefs trumps the right to eat meat. I'm talking on behalf of those animals that don't want to die. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. This ain't about me, it's about them. I'm fine, I'm getting on with my life. I'm trying to say we shouldn't be chucking animals into slaughterhouses to get their heads cut off for something we don't need. We shouldn't be using animals at all. We shouldn't be exploiting animals at all. We don't need to use them for food, for clothing, for scientific research, for entertainment purposes. We should respect them. They're here with us, whether you like it or not. They have a will to live. We don't need to be doing this. We wouldn't want any of this done to ourselves. Put yourself in the position of any animal in animal farming and ask yourself whether you would be happy in their position. No, you would not. Okay, so why are we doing it to them? I tried vegan, I tried vegetarian, both are no good. What reason? That's just a standard statement. If you've got a problem with it, let's talk about it. Okay? And actually, I'd be kind of more interested, Drew. Why did you try vegan? What was your reasoning behind it? Okay, so I want to know why you tried vegan and what were the actual problems that you had. If you ever eat meat, then you're not a vegan. No, that's not how it works, okay? People become vegan when they understand the situation. Like, you can eat meat and just not be aware of stuff, and be supporting animal use in all different cases. And then when you finally realise, you make the decision to go vegan. Veganism is an ethical stance. It's a bit like being not racist or, being for women's rights or something like that. We're just not going to mess with animals. And what you do is you make that connection and you go, hey, these things I'm doing aren't right. I'm going to stop doing them. I'm going to live my life with those as my ethics of I'm not going to mess with animals. That's all vegan is. That's literally it. I'm not asking for anything big. I find everything tastes bland. Or Drew, I'm sorry, I don't believe you. Okay, every single herb and spice on the entire planet is a plant. Okay, KFC tastes like it does because of herbs and spices. Okay, you cannot say it is bland and tastes good when every single taste in the world is coming from plants. Okay, and how does your health suffer exactly? We don't know what you were eating.
Is violence okay as the new poll?
Like, your health can suffer eating any diet. There are plenty of sick meats. What were you eating exactly? You might not have been eating well.
So this isn't a make-up debate.
Yeah, vegan food is bland. It's just a lie. It's just a lie. I mean, have you never eaten like most like Asian food, which majority of it is like vegan by default? Like, oh my God, it's like every single taste on the planet. You might have been fine eating meat, but what were you actually eating? Actually, Drew, let's talk through it. If you actually want genuine help, I'm happy to talk.
In this slaughterhouse,
like, what were you actually eating?
This is a body bag truck.
This is where the animals end up. Or you see them neatly packaged inside Tesco's.
I choose to eat meat and I won't change my mind. Well, what's the reasoning for that? Stubbornness? Do you actually have a reason beyond just, I don't want to do it? I don't want to. Because that's not really an argument. That's just you going, it's like saying to a murderer, stop murdering, please. No, I don't want to, kind of thing. I mean, you can say that. I can't argue against it. If that's just what you're going to say, I don't have an argument against it. I'm just going to say that I just don't think you're consistent with that. I don't think you're consistent.
Any vegans in here?
Yeah, good question.
Think about taking your
don't need a reason. Okay, I don't need a reason to punch children.
So we
Yep, Philip. Sorry, Andrew. Sorry. Is that now fine? I want you to. Let's test your logic. Okay. I don't need a reason to punch children. Do you accept my reasoning? Is it now okay? Is it now okay that I punch children? And again, this is your logic, not mine. I'm just testing you. Your thing is, I don't need a reason, so I don't need a reason. Can I do it? Is it okay? Try to fake bacon, fake burgers, fake sausages, all nothing like the real thing. Who cares, Drew? You don't. Have you tried every other plant-based food on the planet? Do you know that there are more than one type of vegan burger, more than one type of vegan sausage? You telling me you've never had a terrible meat burger? You've never had a terrible meat sausage? I remember I did. I used to eat meat. Like, you can't say you've eaten the entire of every vegan food known to man. You just haven't. Like, it's just an excuse. It's just a lie. And you shouldn't be living off of just fake bacon, fake burgers and fake sausages. If you're just living off of processed food, what do you expect? They're not health foods. Like, why aren't you eating vegetables, fruits, beans, legumes, all stuff like that? Healthy foods. Like, you don't need to live off of meat supplements. Meat supplements are there as, like other meat, they're there as a luxury, as a treat. You don't need to live off of them. You shouldn't be living off of just vegan burgers. If you felt ill, that's probably why.
Why the police here? Why is there all the security?
Yeah, you don't need to eat the mock meats to be vegan, exactly.
Why won't they let us film the animals?
The thing is, preference isn't an argument. Like I said, which I haven't heard anything back from yet. But like, it could be my preference that I want to punch children. Obviously I don't. But that's not a good argument. We could say that about anything. Okay? It's easy to say these things when you're not the victim. I think this is what we need to talk about here. It's easy to come up with excuses when you're not the one getting your head cut off. You're not the one in the slaughterhouse right now. Okay? Do you think that's a good excuse? You think we could just go up to those cows? If those cows could speak, or we could go up to them and they kind of went, oh, we don't want to die. Sorry, it's my preference. They're going to be like, oh, that's fine. That's a great argument. They're going to be like, shut the fuck up. Like, terrible argument. I'm not the one being childish here. You're the one being like, oh, but I can't find a sausage. It doesn't taste like a sausage. How am I the one being childish? Well, I'm the one that's taken the adult decision to be like, no, I don't want to harm animals. That's not a good thing to do. You know, I know better. I'm an adult. So I don't support these things, rather than the person in the chat currently going, oh, but I can't find a good sausage. Like, I'm sorry, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. If you're not a child, be an adult. Realise this is wrong and make a change. You're not a kid. Okay? You're not a baby. You can do adult things and realise that this is wrong and we shouldn't be cutting people's heads off. Right? Simple as that.
They've been selectively bred to grow so large that they collapse on their own legs. Their legs break underneath.
Oh, plant-based news. How's it going, man? Everyone goes sub to plant-based news. Been big fans since back in the day. Klaus in the greenhouse days. Miss you too, dude. Oh, there's a truck coming in. So bear with us. We're going to see if we can show you the animals in the trucks. So I think that was the closest we've got to actually seeing them this time. Yeah, we actually managed to see inside a little bit. It wasn't the clearest on here, but I think you guys could actually see that time. So again, another truck of dairy cows. So let me just put this back on the stand and we can talk about this. X7, we're at a slaughterhouse in Bedford, UK. And we've just literally seen a truck go in. So this was, pretty sure it was dairy cows again. Yeah.
Dairy cows, dairy mothers.
So this is something that's worth kind of discussing, because I think a lot of people, again, which we've said a few times on this stream, they forget the fact that dairy cows also go to slaughter. You just think about, oh, it's just the cows for beef, for the burgers and stuff, right? Those mothers have basically gone through continuous pregnancies, had their babies taken away so we can steal their milk, and then at the end of it, no thanks, no retirement, no thanks for your service, thanks for your milk, off to get their head cut off, sold for cheap meat. A lot of the meat you're eating is from dairy cows. How is that ethical? How is it ethical to get an animal, force them into pregnancy again and again and again, take their children away, stealing their children away from them so we can take their milk? How is that ethical? How is that justified in any way? So for all you saying you eat meat, a lot of the meat you're eating is going to be coming from dairy cows as well. So try and justify that as well. What does it do to standing there? Well, we're raising awareness. We're speaking to people like you. We're showing you this and you're having a conversation with me. That's how we're trying to change things. Unfortunately, I can't do anything. As much as I want to bust them out, I can't do it. I do not have the ability or anything to save these animals. So the least I can do is to try and show people them before they go into slaughter and try and educate people to try and make a change and try and put pressure on these things to stop so we can get rid of this shit. Okay, that's why I'm here. I'm here to speak up for them because they can't speak up for themselves. I'm just trying to educate people. Just try and make people think differently about animals. Stop seeing them as food items. Stop seeing them as a means to an end. See them as an individual that wants to live. Just like us. They shouldn't be having their heads cut off.
When she gives birth to her baby is a boy.
It's not wrong to eat meat. That is your choice and you're trying to force them on other people. How am I forcing you, Andrew? Am I pinning you down and putting tofu in your mouth? Or am I just on a live stream which you've decided to watch of your own accord and I'm just telling you things that might be making you feel uncomfortable? Okay? It is wrong. It's wrong to them. I don't care what you think. I care what they think. They don't think it's right. Those animals, I'm thinking, oh yeah, this is fine. This is fine, okay? They do not want to live.
Yeah, he said that happened at every single
Sorry, but the wrong way around. They do want to live. They do not want to die. Someone's going to clip that. But yeah, this ain't justified. We shouldn't be doing this to them. Just because they can't vocally say, oh, we don't want this, they can't talk to us or anything. We know they have a will to live. Have you seen slaughterhouse footage? Have you seen animals try and get out of the knockbox, try and avoid being killed? They don't want this to happen to them. So yes, it's wrong to them. I don't care what you think. It's not even about what I think. They do not want to die. Simple as that. Okay? It's wrong to the victim. Put yourself in the victim's point of view. If it was you in those trucks, you would be saying it's wrong. If you're not, I'll be worried. When you cut a cabbage, it still dies. So you really think, okay, hold on. Okay, so I've just picked some grass. Okay, is that the same as what's going to happen to those cows in there? Are these blades of grass feeling the same pain and suffering as the cow that's about to get a bolt gun in the head and have their head cut off? You really believe that? You really believe this? Come on. Now you're just talking rubbish. We're just not going to walk on grass anymore, are we? We're not going to... Plants are not sentient. They have no ability to perceive the world beyond just responses to atmosphere and stuff around them. They don't think. They don't have families. They don't have all these things that we do. That's why it's okay to do things to plants as not to animals. Don't be stupid. This is a terrible, terrible argument that you are not going to win. The scientific community are completely against you. No one believes that cutting a cucumber in half is the same as cutting a cow's head off. Okay?
We're live right now.
So yeah, if this is the level of excuses you have, then you're on very, very weak ground. Bruce, anyway, enough of this. I'm off for it. Bruce, you're kind of disappointing in a way because you were saying that, you kind of like animals and stuff, and now you're just kind of making jokes about them and stuff. So, which is probably just a front. I don't know whether you're just kind of triggered by this. And let me just kind of get it straight, okay? It's okay to be triggered by stuff that's uncomfortable, okay? It's okay. We all get triggered at times, okay? It's fine. It's a natural response to things. But don't just let it, don't allow it to just make you talk crap. Just take a step back and go, why do I feel like this? Maybe this guy that I don't know talking on the internet's got some sort of point that I should look into. Don't just discredit it and start writing rubbish. Okay? Maybe I've got a point. You don't have to like me. I'm not here to make friends with you or anything like that. You can hate me as much as you want. But just listen to what I say and just try and actually argue against my points. Because at the moment, the points that you're giving, this is just in general with everyone in here, the points you're giving are not strong. They're not strong. It's all like, well, I want to. My preference. They're tasty. None of these are good excuses for violence. They never will be. They never will be. And you know it. You know it. You would never accept these in any other context, ever. So why accept them in this one? You probably all like animals. Love you. I bet you've got pet cats and dogs. Probably adore them. You would never harm an animal if you saw them. If you were here, you wouldn't be the one with the bolt gun. You wouldn't be the one with the knife across the throat. I pretty much guarantee if there was a pig in the middle of a street, someone was kicking the pig, you'd probably even try and stop him. Because you do care. I believe that most people do care. I believe we're just disconnected. We've been brainwashed by these shithole fucking industries to believe that there's something nice happens along the way, that we need this stuff. It's all lies. It's all lies. You've been lied to. Don't take my word for it. Do your own research. It's literally, it's all lies. And one day, I really hope you'll wake up to that and you'll realise.
Police don't usually stay all day. They get called to the slaughterhouse.
Yeah, Drew, we're going to agree. All the evidence is there for you to see. Google everything I've said and prove me wrong. If you anything I've said and you want to prove me wrong, go for it. I'm more than happy to be challenged on things. But you're going to find that I'm not just saying this as egotistical or anything. It's just, it's all pretty basic stuff. It's wrong to harm others. It's wrong to exploit others. It's wrong to use others. We all know this. We just need to extend it to animals. Stop thinking that we're somehow this superior race. We're not. We're a horrible race, really, if you think about it. Think about all the stuff we do to animals. All the stuff we do to each other. We're terrible. In fact, we're the only species on the planet, if you got rid of us all, everything would benefit. The air, the water, the land, so many animals would be saved. We're not that great. We're not that great. And we need to do better. And this is one thing we can do.
Yeah. We should put another poll in. Yeah.
Yeah, Joe Rogan is not a good source. I don't know if anyone's using Joe Rogan, but yeah. Fact check. It's kind of just a general thing for everyone in general, okay? Everything in life. Fact check. Don't take anything at face value, okay? There's a lot of bullshit we're getting told from a lot of different things. What you can say is, it's wrong and your argument is weak. Yeah, because it is. What else am I meant to say, Andrew? You're trying to say that cutting a cabbage is equal to cutting a cow's head off. What else do you want me to say? I've told you they're not sentient. I told you you're talking against science. So yes, I'm going to say you're wrong. It's now, you're the one that made the claim. It's now your job to try and prove me wrong. Okay? Not my job. You've said it, you prove it. If you think that a lettuce is feeling pain, provide all the evidence for us. So yeah, your argument's weak and you're wrong. And I'm pretty sure anyone who's sensible in here, even people that aren't vegan, will know that you're talking crap if you're trying to stand up for a lettuce. It's just a ridiculous argument. I don't know what, and just want to be fair, why haven't you kicked off about the grass? I just picked some blades of grass, Andrew. Is that not bad? Are you not going to call me out for it? You're not going to call me out? Plant-based news, thoughts on Gary's comeback. I'm only going to make this quick, just because we're trying to stick on the animals. But yeah, Gary's comeback has been interesting, what should we say. I'm glad he is back. I think we're going to see a lot of changes in him, if I'm honest. I think we're going to see I can't be bothered to go into all the details, but I think he's kind of being exposed to a lot of new stuff at the moment, and I think his mindset's going to become kind of changed quite a bit. But I think he's going in the right way. If that makes sense. I can't really bother to go into the details. We can talk about it in private if you want. But yeah, I'm glad he's back. Strong activist as always. One of the reasons I understand veganism today. I'm interested to see where it goes. Yeah, Google if plants feel pain. Please, Andrew, go and Google if plants feel pain. Go and do it right now. Go and find us a study. Post it in the chat for us all. Let's all have a look at it. Wild lettuce numbs your mouth if you chew on it. So? A rock will break your teeth if you try and chew a rock. Right? It doesn't mean that a rock's alive. Like, yes, you can't argue with stupid. So I should probably stop arguing with you, Andrew. Yeah, I'd love to come out and do some filming, man. Let's do it. Drop me a message. Oh no, honestly, drop me a message. Let's go in and do some stuff. I really want to I've been so kind of behind the scenes for quite a few years, obviously working on the film and doing other bits. I kind of do want to get out a bit more. So yeah, it'd be really great to catch up, man. And so yeah, drop me a message. Everyone, please go and follow Plant-Based News. They do some amazing work. Respect. So yeah, so while we wait for Andrew to provide his evidence on lettuce, does anyone else have any other actual sensible questions? I just joined, I think I caught the last bit. Hey Bad Touch, how you doing? So just to explain to you, if you're new in, so I'm currently outside a cow slaughterhouse in Bedford in the UK, and we're basically talking about what's kind of happening to these animals. As the trucks come in, I'm doing my best to try and show you the animals before they go into slaughter. And we're just generally, discussing veganism, animal rights, getting people to think differently about animals, try and get people on a better path. For if you've got any questions about any of this, I don't mind what you want to ask. I thought there was another truck there, but it's not. Let's just have a conversation. More than happy to answer any questions you got. Drew, see, I always say veg doesn't have feelings. Thank you, Drew. See? If Drew's saying it, Andrew, then you're not in a good place, right? Thank you, Drew. I'm glad we still can agree on some things, and it shows you are sensible. It's pretty bad that they're treated. Their battery farm. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's not just about battery farming. It's about all farming. We've got to stop thinking about factory farming or battery farming as the evil, and thinking that the other option's better, because it's not. All of these animals, whether it's a small local farm, an organic farm, anything like that, all of these animals have been bred into existence to be held captive, to be exploited, and to be used, killed for their bodies. That can never be kind, can never be compassionate, can never be humane. We would never do that to a human being. We'd never want that done to ourselves. Animal farming, this humane thing, is a lie. It's a lie that we all need to realise is a lie, and stop thinking something nice happens. Nothing nice is happening. These animals are used, exploited and killed. End of story, no matter where they're from. Think about it this way, right? Let's just say we've got a cow, and this cow lives in what is essentially cow paradise, right? Everything a cow should need. They're treated like absolute luxury, right? The moment that we decide their life should end and we're going to chuck them in a slaughterhouse, it's wrong. It's wrong to do that. It's wrong to keep that animal and do all these things for them with the knowledge that you're just going to take their life away from them. Like, it's not right. It's not right at all. No, I don't eat any meat. I'm a vegan myself. I've been vegan for 10 years. As far as meat's concerned, I've not eaten any meat since 2002. And just so you understand what veganism isn't a diet. It doesn't just mean that I'm not eating animal products. I do my best to not wear clothing using animals. I don't support animals in entertainment. I don't support animals used for science. I don't support animal just use across the board. I don't feel that we need to be using animals at all. We should leave them alone to the best of our ability that we can do. It's the least we can do. As far as I'm concerned, there are other living beings on this planet. They should be left alone and respected. And we shouldn't be messing with them. The same as we don't mess with our other human beings. I mean, as a species we do, but like, I don't walk down the road and see someone and go, hey, I'm going to exploit them. I'm going to punch that person, I'm going to steal their clothes. That's wrong. So why would we do that to animals as well? I think it's just be left alone. I think it's just respectful. And it's just a natural extension of our own morals. We all wouldn't want this done to ourselves, so why would we do it to someone else? Do unto others what you would want done to yourself, Hope that makes sense anyway. Stuart, baseless crap again, Muppet, get a job, I've already got a job, mate. You can insult me as much as you want, Stuart. It doesn't debunk anything I say. So if you just want to spam insults, feel free. You're not going to get anywhere. If you actually want to ask me questions and challenge anything I've said, feel free. But I've got a job, so I don't know what you're talking about. I always find it funny, actually. Just some people might be entertained by it. I find it funny that people say get a job, because they're like, assume that, because you're somewhere and you're not working, then you must not have a job. But then I'm always like, well, hold on. Have you not got a job either? Because you're on YouTube spamming get a job. So is the jobless person trying to call out the jobless person? It doesn't really make any sense. Drew, I'm starting to respect you, man. Like, you're seeing through the bullshit as well, okay? I just want you to do that for the animals as well, man. I always do it for the animals. You're seeing through the rubbish that other people are saying. Just start to see through your own and be like, okay, maybe this guy's got a point, right? Tea break, Muppet. Another insult from Stuart Smith. Mate, have you actually got any argument against what I'm saying, or you're just going to help boost the video in the algorithm? Because that's all that happens, Which I also find funny, people like spamming. And it's like, yeah, you're just telling YouTube that the chat's active. If you want to sabotage me, just leave the stream. And then YouTube will think I've got less people. It's funny. So you're on your tea break, you're watching this. Okay, here's some up there. Drew, join the good side, man. Join the good side. I'm starting to have some faith in you. Anyway, just about to have a sausage sandwich. Fancy joining me if it's a vegan sausage sandwich? Yeah, all about it, mate. But let's think about, we haven't talked about the pig industry actually. Let's talk about the pig industry. Let's talk about the sausage sandwich, where that came from. So let's go right back into the farm and let's look at the mothers. So I believe it's around, could be wrong, I think it's around 80% of all mother pigs are kept in what's known as farrowing crates. Now, I've seen these firsthand. They are evil, absolute evil. And I honestly believe if any of you came into a farm with me and you saw one of these, you'd think the same. A farrowing crate is essentially a cage where the mother can just stand up, sit down, take maybe one step forward and back. They can't turn around, and they'll be in there for about 6 weeks. 6 weeks while they give birth to their piglets. Okay? This is torture. This is absolute torture. It's horrific. I do not know how these things are even still legal. It is utter disgrace. Go and look up farrowing crates, everyone. Disgusting, disgusting things. I mean, the whole industry is disgusting, but farrowing crates, just when you see them firsthand, they really are. They really do make you angry. So they give birth to the piglets in there. These piglets can get raised. And how do you think pigs are killed? A lot of people don't know. So a lot of people think they're killed with the electric stunners. So it's basically like a big pair of scissors and they put them on the side of the head, electrocutes them. But actually most pigs in the UK, in Australia, in the US, a lot of parts of Europe, are killed in a gas chamber. They're basically put into a carousel, lowered down into dense CO2, and they basically suffocate and burn from the inside. It is disgusting. There is a documentary called Pignorant. A friend of mine called Joey Carvstrong was the first person in the UK to expose the pig gas chambers and put cameras inside. There are, if you can YouTube this, I think he's put up like 3 hours worth of unedited gas chamber footage. Go and watch that and tell me if you think that's okay. I mean, I don't think any of this is okay. I don't think the fact that keeping these animals captive is okay. I don't think that we're killing them in any method is okay. Like, they're not, but a lot of people just don't know the ins and outs as well. And sometimes, as much as I don't like to focus on the methods so much and try and make it out like one's better than the other, because they're not, they're all bad. sometimes it helps some people make the connection. Some people, they think, oh, I didn't know that, I want to look into that. And then when they look into it, they look and they go, okay, yeah, this is messed up, I shouldn't support this. What else have we got here? If the animals weren't used, they'd be extinct. We've kind of covered this before. They wouldn't be extinct. There are wild cows, there are wild chickens, there are wild hogs, all stuff like that. The only animals that wouldn't exist are the ones that are domesticated, that were breeding into existence. So no, they wouldn't go extinct. It was just the ones in farming wouldn't exist anymore. So quick and easy that. I can't have to go over the whole thing again. I love people as well that come in and just start talking about what they're eating. Like, I just find that really funny because it is a sign that they are triggered, and they hate that. They'll hate that I say they're triggered, and they'll be like, I'm not triggered. But I mean, like, no adult, sensible, rational human comes onto a stream where people are talking about animals being killed, and then he's instantly gonna want to go, well, I had a pizza last night. Like, it's so lame. It's so unbelievably lame and childish. Like, I instantly just think they're like 12-year-olds from TikTok, but unfortunately some of these are like grown men, which is pretty depressing. So yeah, I don't really care about what you ate. Okay, this isn't about what you ate. This is about respecting animals. And how about asking me some questions? Challenge my beliefs. Okay, if you don't believe in what I'm saying, challenge what I'm saying. Okay, it's not challenging to say, oh, but I ate a pizza. I don't care. No one cares. But thanks for boosting the video in the algorithm though. So that's what you're doing. Yes, Challenge 22, great free resource if anyone is considering doing anything. Want to give vegan a go. Challenge 22, they'll give you a mentor, run you through everything. Make it really easy for you. It's super easy. It's not as hard as everyone thinks, honestly. It seems like a big step, but it's not. And it is the least we can do for these animals. The least, the minimum, the bare minimum. These animals should not be going through this. We should not be keeping animals captive to exploit and kill. Full stop. It does not need to be done. There is no reason. Every argument that people keep giving are just utter trash. Okay, which you wouldn't accept in any other thing. We don't need to do it. If you actually give a shit about others, you care about justice in this world, you care about being a kind person, then please just look into it. That's all I ask. I can't force anyone to do anything. But what I can do is just keep, educating and just trying to get you to think. That's all these streams are about, getting you to think. So if we move away from farm meat, how do we deal with the existing livestock? Okay, well, we can answer that. I mean, it kind of goes with the extinction thing we just spoke about. So basically what would happen is, as demand drops for animal products, we've got to remember, all these animals are being bred into existence to meet the demand, right? So as this demand drops, as more and more people step away and go, hey, we don't want this, they're going to breed less and less animals into existence. And eventually it's just going to stop. That's essentially how it will work. We're not going to end up with tons and tons of animals roaming the streets and all this kind of hypotheticals people do. Unfortunately, as much as I'd like the world to go vegan overnight, it's not going to happen. But what will happen is that demand will drop until we come to a natural end. Hope that makes sense. I don't care about your opinion. Meat is tasty. If I don't care about your opinion, why are you here? Another question I like to ask people on the stream. A lot of people come in here being like, I don't care. If you don't care, why are you spending time listening to someone talk about something you don't care about? But clearly there's a little thing inside you that does. You're obviously getting something from this stream, and it can't be that entertaining. I mean, it's just me telling you how stupid your arguments are. But the thing is, I believe that you do care. And who cares if meat is tasty? We've had this argument before. Taste is not a justification for violence. It's not a justification to exploit and kill others. There's other tastes in the world, right? And like what I keep saying to people as well, most of the meat you eat is flavored by plants. You got ketchup on your burger? Plants. You got herbs and spices? Plants. Let's go and see what's happening over here though. Flyers stopped.
They're just babies.
Just because you like it doesn't make it right.
They feel pain just like you and I. Please do better. I urge you to watch Dominion on YouTube. Please.
So yeah, so Mel's just outreaching to the worker there. Yeah, hold on. Let's
I don't know if you like something, it's
get you
not
in here as
okay.
well.
It's not okay to kill somebody and commodify them just because you like eating their flesh. If you really, really did think that, you would think Jeffrey Dahmer eating humans was absolutely fine because he used the same justification. Taking a moment to speak to these drivers, you never know the impacts that can have, because these drivers are just drivers. They don't see the kill floor. They don't understand. They may not even know that you can survive by not doing this to animals. So make sure you always say, watch Dominion, find out the truth, see what is actually happening. You never know what will stick with them. I basically pleaded with him. I said, please don't do this, please.
What she's saying is so true. I've spoke to farmers in the past with trucks, and they've said they don't even like what they're doing. They don't agree with it. They've literally said, like, this is the worst part of this job, I don't like doing it. And I'm like, well, there's resources, we can help you, we can try and, get you out of this and everything. A lot of people, even within the industry, don't like the industry. They're just born into it because, they just have to do it because that's what's become their job and their living. Yeah, I just thought I'd go over and grab that interaction. I don't know how much you could hear, but yeah, I mean, the workers and everything, we're all as clueless and brainwashed as the next. I do believe that the farmers and people in the industry are as brainwashed as the general public. We don't really understand what we're doing. We're just going off of just social norms, going off of just habit of this is what we've done for so many years. And yeah, anyway, just going to grab some water and we'll come back to some of your questions. How is tofu made? It's made out of soybeans. No, I haven't heard of them. Quite new to this, want to get involved. I'm doing environmental science degree starting in September. I want to get properly involved. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, CM, are you considering, are you vegan or vegetarian or anything? I mean, if you want some help being vegan, let us know. We'll happily help you if that's something. Drew, subbed. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate you hearing me out. See? We can be nice to each other, right? Have you gone to a halal slaughterhouse? They're all the same, man. And yeah, animal activists go to halal slaughterhouses all the time. If you want to see a recent halal investigation, hop over to my friend Joey Carbstrong's channel. He just did a big exposure on halal, actually. Really big one. So if you want to see what's going on there, but it's all bad, mate. Don't just pinpoint halal and say, oh, but halal's worse than this or whatever. It's all wrong. Some things can, possibly be worse for the animals than the others, but if it's wrong, it's wrong. It's bad, it's bad. The animals are dying either way, right? We shouldn't be thinking, oh, but yeah, halal's the worst kind of thing. But yeah, we don't discriminate against what the animal slaughter is. If they're being slaughtered, we're against it, whether it's halal, whether it's electric stunning, whether it's gas chambers, whether it's whatever. It's all bad, it all needs to stop. Oh, Roya, thank you, yeah, chucking up there. Yeah, I mentioned Joey Carbstrong there as well. Just scrolling through. How are soybeans grown? Okay, how about we skip whatever bullshit you're trying to get to, Ginger Ninja, and you just tell us what kind of point you're trying to make here, because I'm not stupid. I speak to people like this all the time. A lot of people just ask like these leading questions because they think they've got this big gotcha, which they normally end up falling on their ass and failing with. So just get to the point and we'll answer it. Why do so few vegan athletes succeed in sport? Mate, go and watch Game Changers, and I think you'll find that isn't the case whatsoever. Remember, something to remember, how little the vegan movement is, right? The fact that there are vegans which are at some of the highest levels in some sports, when there are hardly any of us, it's pretty telling. Okay, this little minority seems to be doing really well. There's got to be some science behind that, right? I'm wanting to go vegan, although I have ARFID, so new foods are tricky, but I'm trying my best to move to vegan food. I'm not sure what ARFID is myself, and I don't like giving out medical advice either, because I'm not a doctor. What I would recommend though is there are probably, if you're on Facebook, there's probably some groups for people like yourself. I know there's groups for people with like celiac and stuff like that. So you'll probably find a group of kind of vegans which kind of have that same thing as you, and they can probably kind of advise on kind of, what best to eat, what best to avoid, all that kind of thing, and do that. I'd say in the meantime though, while you're still kind of educating yourself on the on that food aspect, look at the other aspects of your life and see where you can do things there. Your clothing, is all your clothing, is that all kind of, you're not wearing any animal skins, make sure you're not supporting any animals in entertainment, or your home products not tested on animals. Start that ball rolling, and then obviously learn about whatever you need for, educate yourself on what you might need kind of food wise, and then you can kind of get the ball rolling like that. But yeah, there's loads of resources, and one good thing about the vegan movement is people are very kind of willing to help. So if you found like a vegan group online or something, everyone will kind of do their best to kind of help you the best they can. So yeah. Lisa, okay, this is an interesting one. I am a beef and lamb farmer. I treat our animals with love and respect, and they are born and grown for meat, end of. Okay, so Lisa, what I would like to ask you is, how do you define love and respect? Do you love and respect your family? Do you love and respect your children? Do you love and respect your pets? Would you do what you do to your animals, to your farm animals that is, to any of those people that you also love and respect? You wouldn't. So I'm not sure how you're saying you love and respect them. It is not respectful to keep them captive. It is not respectful to exploit their bodies. It is not respectful to send them to a slaughterhouse. None of this is respectful. You are using them as a business to make money, and let's not sugarcoat it. I'd rather you just be honest, okay? I hear this a lot. I hear this all the time. I'd rather you just be honest and say, hey, it's my business. That's how I make money. That's how we're putting, that's how I'm supporting my children, everything. I'm a lot more understanding of that than I am when people try and make out that it's some love, respect, act of compassion, when it's not. There's nothing loving and respectful about farming animals. So I'm interested to see what you say to that anyway. Why don't you get a job? I've got a job. Why don't you get a job? Get off YouTube, get back to work. How many lorry drivers didn't object? Oh, a lot. I mean, a lot. To be honest, a lot of lorry drivers aren't even, they're not even farmers. They're just haulage drivers. So they don't see anything. They literally just show up at a farm. The animals get on the truck. They drop them off here. That's it. Job done. So a lot of them don't have massively strong opinions. Some of them. But yeah, obviously, this is got to remember, this is all a social norm. This is all part of their life. This is what they've done for so many years. We're trying to challenge that. We're trying to make people think differently. It's an uphill battle, and we understand that. It's not easy. If it was easy, the world would be vegan already. This is why we need to continually keep doing this, educate, talk to people, and try and get people to make that switch. And hopefully, my only hope is there's a few people in here, that will go away and think about some of the things I've said. Maybe they'll make that change. I'm just going to skip down a bit. Thank you, CM. I'm really glad you got something out of this stream, and thank you so much for coming on. And if I do any more, feel free to hop on. And if you did need any sort of help finding resources, feel free to find me on Instagram. It's Chris Hines Official, and I can always try and find you groups or some people you can talk to. I'm more than happy to do that. Just drop me a DM, and we'll get you whatever assistance you need. And I really appreciate you coming on and chatting. That's great. So, for example, a dairy farmer. Why do we eat meat if all the flavours come from plant-based products? I mean, we eat meat because back in the day it was a quick and easy source of protein when we're kind of hunting and stuff. But now with industrial farming, we don't need any of that. We're not in a survival situation anymore. We've got Asda and Tesco, and we can get protein from plants. So yeah, it's different times. That's when we started eating meat, we were like living in caves and stuff. It's just a habit that's just continued. But we can't look at what we did years ago and go, oh well, we did it then, so we've got to do it now. No, we don't do that. We look and go, Well, do we need to do it now? Is it necessary now? Obviously not. So we adapt, right? We change. So I want to reply to inhumane creation station. All the lambs and cows, grass-fed, looked after, as well as regular veterinary checkups. I'm against ridiculous animal testing. It's like fair, and definitely protect dying species, especially the tiger. But lambs, chickens, cows, you need to eat them. We don't know. This is the thing. This is the thing you just got to wake up to and you just got to accept. Okay, it's not me just talking bullshit. I'm just stating a fact. You don't need to eat animals. You don't. If we did, I'd be dead. All right. Stacey, who's in the chat, hasn't eaten any meat since birth. All right. She should be dead by now, suffering from like major nutritional deficiencies. Okay. We've been told we need these things because it makes people money. It's a business. Of course they're going to tell you need it. You know, think of all the adverts for milk. You need milk to build healthy bones and calcium. No, you don't. We don't even drink our own mother's breast milk after a certain time. Why do we need the breast milk of a cow? You see what I mean? Like, we get fed so much bullshit. We've got another truck coming in, by the way. So, let's see if we can see anything this time. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to see much because the slats are up. So, but yeah, this is another truck full of cows. Once again, I don't think we're going to see much, to be honest. Oh, we can see a little bit there. Could just about see his ears. But this is why we're doing the stream, okay? This is what matters. It doesn't matter whether you like the taste of something. It doesn't matter what your preference is. What matters is what they want, those animals in those trucks. And those animals do not want to be killed. They're going in there to get their heads cut off. Okay? It's not just this like minor thing. Okay? We're talking about beheading. Think about it realistically. Like take a breath, take a step back for a second, and actually, you know, engage with what's going on. They're going in to have their heads cut off and chopped into pieces. Okay? They're probably 18 months old. They can live till they're 25. How are we justifying this?
Thank you so much, guys. It helps us to help the animals.
Right, just yeah, police are still there. They're not doing anything. I think they're just sat in the car, but yeah. I need to drink more water. All this talking gives you right proper dry mouth, doesn't it? Okay, let's go to rewind slightly. Just one to make this point clearer. Mother troll, but baffled by vegans. What's this? Could you imagine fighting army on a vegan diet? Yeah. What you're failing to recognise, okay, you've just got this bias in your head. You've got this information where you think that you can't be healthy on a vegan diet, okay? You need to prove this. You need to actively prove it. You can't just go, oh, well, I've heard, okay? It's not factual. What I would recommend, go to the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. They're the biggest collective of nutritionists, biggest health organisation on the planet, essentially, right? Search for their position on vegan diets. It will tell you that a vegan diet is nutritionally adequate for all stages of life. Okay? So I don't know what you're talking about. Okay? You can think all these things. You can hear all these things from people. Like, think about it this way, right? Why do you think these things? Is it maybe because the meat industry is threatened by vegans? Okay? We're the ones that are going to take their money away. Do you not think they're going to actively try and put out misinformation and stuff to try and stop people and scare people so they can continue to make money? They are a business. You're standing up for a business. Remember this, okay? The meat industry is a huge, huge billion, trillion dollar industry, okay? They are going to fight back. They're going to give misinformation. They're going to give all this bullshit, say all this stuff, to try and make people go, oh, no, you can't be healthy being a vegan. No, keep eating your meat, keep eating your dairy, keep giving us the money. Think about it. What have I got to gain? Nothing. I haven't asked for any donations. I'm not being paid to be here. I'm here because of them, okay? Because they're paying the cost of their lives, okay? So just think about it. Why are you standing up for these huge industries? What possible reason would you do that? Like, they're not benefiting you. Let's have a look. Thanks for all the comments, by the way. It's really good to see everyone engaging. I just want to kind of stress this again. Normally when we do these live streams, we get a lot of trolls, okay? And it's been really nice to have people come in, even if they just started off being a troll, but they've actually started engaging in the conversation, which is why I do what I do, okay? So I do really appreciate that. Even if we don't agree, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you engaging and everything. And all I hope is that you'll just hear me out, okay? Like I said, I'm not here to sell you anything or anything like that. I'm just here of my own accord because I care. Because I care about what happens. And I think this is one of the biggest injustices on this entire planet. What we're doing to animals is horrible. It's horrific. We're better than that. We're a better species than what we do to them. That's the only reason I'm here. But yeah, thank you so much for engaging. If you have questions I've missed them, please feel free to repost as well, because there is a lot and I've only got like a little tiny section on the screen, so I keep having to scroll. So greetings from Ireland. Hi Kaz, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. For those of you who just tuned in, by the way, if you haven't been, we're outside a slaughterhouse in Bedford, UK. This is a cow slaughterhouse, and we've already seen, it's probably closer to like 180 cows go in so far since we've been here, and we're just basically just trying to educate people on what happens here, try and show you the animals in their last moments where we can, just have a conversation, get people thinking about why we do this, should you be supporting it, what you can do about it, and everything. Myself, I'm a vegan, been vegan for 10 years. I've been an undercover investigator. I've done university talks in multiple universities across the country on this subject. I'm currently making a documentary about this as well, so I consider myself fairly well educated on the topic. So yeah, feel free to fire over any questions you want, whether you agree with me, whether you don't agree with me. Let's have this conversation and see what we can do. I think good quality meat should be a small part of our diet. So it provides good protein and supports farmers. Okay, how about this, right? It doesn't support the animals. Okay, again, we're only thinking about the humans involved here. We're not thinking about the victims. This is what we keep missing out on. Okay, we need to consider them first before everyone else. We're not going to argue that bullfighting needs to continue because the matadors will be out of a job. No one's arguing that. They're being like, that's fucked up, let's stop. Right? We need to do the same with this. Okay? We don't need any part of them on our plate at all. If we actually care, we stop. Same with any injustice. We don't try and cut down on it. We don't say, hey, I'm against domestic violence, so what we're going to do is we're going to do domestic violence only one day a week. No, we don't do that. We go, hey, this is an injustice. We don't support it. We need to stop. And that's what I'm encouraging people to do. Let's have a look what else we've got here. I've tried both vegan and vegetarian, but because I found my energy levels dip on a vegan diet. Drew, I'd say, honestly, I would say you probably just weren't eating well. I mean, you kept saying all you're eating is mock meats. That's probably not the best thing for you. You probably just want to do a little bit of research into actual good quality foods. Like maybe even kind of, there's a website called Chronometer. Maybe hop on there, put your meals in there, see what you're actually getting, making sure you're eating enough calories. It is a common mistake that people think, oh, I'm going to go vegan, and then they either live off of junk or they live off of salad. That's not sustainable for anybody, Get your beans in, make sure you're eating lots of veggies, lentils, all stuff that's actually going to be good for you. It's going to give you everything you need. And you'll probably find those energy dips are going to go away. I mean, I'm not exactly lacking in energy. I mean, I've been talking for, how long now? Like 3 hours non-stop. And I've been vegan for 10 years. So yeah, it's possible. You can do it. What else we got here? If we didn't have meat, then many species would be redundant. The analogy to domestic violence is insulting to women. It's not insulting. You're not listening to what I'm saying. What I'm doing is I'm taking your argument and just looking at it in different contexts. I'm just basically changing the victims. You can't say it's okay to harm animals, just a small amount, but it's not okay to other unethical things it wouldn't be okay to only do those a small amount. We'd have to stop them. You see where I'm coming from? I'm basically just trying to get you to think about it in context that you might understand better, okay? And ultimately, violence is violence, okay? Violence is happening to animals. Domestic violence is violence. Being violent to animals, being violent to whoever's the victim of that domestic abuse, okay? Violence should stop, right? We shouldn't decrease the violence, we should stop the violence. And again, I know I've answered this a few times, but I know we've got to repeat ourselves for this kind of thing. He says many species to be redundant, okay? What we've got to remember is all these animals are being bred into existence, okay? They shouldn't be here anyway. They're basically man-made animals brought into the world to exploit and kill. If farming ended, we'd still have cows, we'd still have chickens. We just have the natural ones that exist. There's no extinction happening. All that's happening is the domestic animals aren't being bred into extinction, and the ones that should be here are here. That's it. There's no mass extinction happening at all. And if you're concerned about, this is the funny thing though, if you're concerned about them dying, and going extinct, you realise they're just being mass killed constantly. Every single, group of cows that come into existence are being killed perpetually, forever. So I don't understand the kind of way of thinking there. Let's stop doing that and let's let the ones that actually exist here already in where they should be, let's protect them and let them live their lives free. That's what we should be doing. Henry Rowan, exactly. Violence equals bad. It's simple. We don't look to reduce violence. We look to stop violence. We're not going to go hey, we'll just slash this violence down to a little bit, and that'll be fine. We'll leave it at that. It's not really how it works. Drew, Game Changers is probably on Netflix or something. You'll be able to find it. Someone would have uploaded it. To be honest, most animal rights vegan documentaries have been uploaded. Yeah, they're pretty much all on YouTube. Yeah, thank you, Roya. I'm a woman and it isn't offensive at all. What we do to animals is worse. Stop talking for others. I mean, I shouldn't really say I'm talking for animals, but animals ain't got a voice. So they need someone to talk up for them. Your argument is better that they didn't exist rather than be eaten. Okay, so Celtic, let me pose something to you and I want you to answer. Okay, let's talk about chickens. So chickens grow from a chick to a full-grown chicken within 6 to 8 weeks. Okay, most of them live in a barn and they'll never see sunlight. Okay, is it better they didn't exist, or is it better that they lived in a barn with no sunlight, got to a point where they can't support their own body weight and then got their head chopped off within the space of 6 to 8 weeks? What do you think? Which do you think they'd prefer if they were given the option? Do you think they would have chose their 6 to 8 weeks of misery? Or do you think they would have been like, nah, I'm out, I don't want to be a part of that? The problem is, people think these animals have these great lives or anything. And even if the thing is, even if they did have this great life, right? Like I explained earlier, just say we had chicken paradise, right? They lived there and they're given everything they wanted, everything that, just luxury. And then someone comes along and says, hey, today I'm going to chop your head off. It's wrong. It doesn't suddenly make it right because they've been treated well beforehand. You wouldn't accept that. If I gave you millions of pounds and said, right, we're going to set you up in a mansion, we're going to give you everything you need, go crazy and everything. And then one day I'm like, right, we're done now. Come off to the guillotine to chop your head off. You're going to be like, fuck no, that's not happening. What's the difference? Killing a living being that don't want to die is just wrong. What do you mean? You said you don't gain anything. This is false. That's just you get a lot from TGIS. What's TGIS? I don't know what TGIS. Oh, yeah, a lot probably from this. What am I getting from this? Right, go and look at my YouTube channel for a start. I haven't uploaded in ages. I'm not even that active. My channel isn't even monetized currently because I haven't been active at all. So no one can donate to me. So I'm not making any money. I'm taking time out of my day when I should be doing some stuff I need to do at home, some work. So no, I'm not massively benefiting from this kind of thing. I don't do this for personal gain, okay? If I did it for personal gain, I'll be here being like, come on, donations, get them all in, let's make some money, blah, 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 blah. I've not mentioned that to anyone once. I'm here because I care, because I actively care. You might find that weird that someone cares about animals, okay? Maybe that's what you're thinking it. How do I get a recognition and a sense of moral superiority? You really think I'm just here just to feel morally superior? This says more about you than it does me. You can't understand that someone gives a shit about other people. That's the problem here. For you, it's baffling. How can someone care? How can someone care this much that they'd want to go and do this? Like, I care. Because I like animals. I love animals. I think they're fucking awesome. Okay? I don't think this should happen to them. I give a shit. I'm a caring person. That's why I'm here. Not to feel morally superior or some shit like that. If you want to talk about moral superiority, look at yourself. You're the one that thinks you're so superior that these animals deserve to go and get their head cut off. You think it's okay that they're farmed, okay they're exploited. Who's the one acting superior here? I'm the one saying that we shouldn't do it, that I don't think I'm superior to them, that I think they should be, we should all live in peace. You're the superior one. Agree? Who agrees? Who agrees that Adam here is the superior one? He's the one that thinks that he's the one above everyone that can dictate what happens to these animals and end their lives and chop them into bits, and it's all fine. Yeah, see, I am superior. See, you're not in any position, mate, to be calling anyone out to say that they're here for moral superiority when I'm here trying to stop animals from being harmed. Yeah, of course you don't, Adam, because you're superior. Of course you don't think eating meat is worse than hitting. You don't think that chopping someone's head off is worse than a punch. Because you do not value these animals. You look down on them because you think you're superior. Like, I'm Adam, the big human supremacist. It's weak, man. It's so weak. No, be an adult. Realise that we shouldn't harm others. It's simple stuff. Kids get it. In fact, it's funny that kids are easier to talk to this subject about than adults.
What's going on?
Which is I don't understand sometimes. Okay, yeah, I'm good.
I'm out now.
A prawn isn't a person. Doesn't matter, they're a living being. They don't deserve to be killed. Why should they be killed? Why do we need to kill them? Why do you feel so deserving that you should kill them? What makes you so special?
I said that once the world is 100% vegan and all humans are vegan,
You're not special, Adam. Sorry to break it to you, mate.
be the first activist
None of us are special.
against the lions in Africa.
In fact, humans are the only species on this planet that if we got rid of us all, it would benefit the entire planet.
I'll go first.
Right? The air would be better, the water would be better, less animals being killed, everything. Like, we're not great.
He breaks the stereotype, right? Most people think vegans are these weak, skinny people.
A vegan activist may adopt their cause not just from compassion, but because it gives them a morally charged goal, a constant challenge, changing of his mind, and a clear enemy. I mean, people can do a lot of things for different reasons, right? Like, I could say the same thing to you. I could say, you are coming into here because you want to feel superior over the vegans and you want to get a gotcha and that's your aim and that's what you're trying to do. I could, project that onto you and say that's your reasoning for being here. I don't think it is. So why suddenly do you do that? Would it be that for me?
And you can get them nutrients from different
It's just an assumption. You've got no evidence of this. You're assuming it because it makes you feel better if you think I'm doing this for some sort of gain rather than someone who just wants to be kind. That's really the reality of it.
plant-based options.
It makes you feel better because I'm here talking about uncomfortable stuff for you to have a reason to discredit me and think, oh, he's here, he's disingenuous, he's only here for other reasons, he doesn't really care, we shouldn't listen to him.
Kids have got innocent minds, right?
I can't change your mind if that's what you think, but you're wrong. It's sad that you think that. It's sad that you can't just take someone for face value and realise that some people just care about things and they just want to help make change in the world. Like, I'm involved in tons of animal rescue stuff that I don't even put online. I've saved countless animals. I don't post it online for moral superiority. I do it because that animal needed rescuing, needed help. So I helped them. Simple as that. There's loads of stuff, animals I've rescued which I'll never put online. I'll never mention them.
Thank you very much for your super thanks too.
It's not about me. So what? So what if we don't do live streams? These are terrible arguments, Adam. Terrible arguments. You can't talk about me insulting people when you've come in here insulting people. Hypocrite? Hypocrite much? Okay, Adam, we're just going to ignore Adam because he's just talking rubbish. But if anyone's got any genuine questions, because I think we're going to wrap up fairly soon, I think. So if anyone has any last things they want to talk about, because I don't want to waste time on people that just aren't going to listen, because it's not really worth it. But if there's genuine people in here that maybe want some more information on veganism, animal rights, what you can do to help, or even just kind of understanding different things, let's talk about that. Let's not focus on people that are just time wasters. Check out the app Daily Dozen. Yeah, Daily Dozen's good. Is it Forks Over Knives, Daily Dozen? Is that or was it What the Health? I can't remember. No, it's Dr. Greger's book, isn't it? Yeah. There's some really good resources. If you're interested in just like the health side of stuff, to be honest, Forks Over Knives, What the Health, Dr. Michael Greger's got a really good book as well, which can kind of help you with that kind of stuff. Forks Over Knives actually have got an app with loads of really good meals and stuff, all whole plant foods as well, so you're avoiding all the junk. So I'd really recommend hopping into that, and then you can kind of see kind of what you might like. I got a really good banana pancake recipe off of there actually, which I make. So yeah, it's really, really good. No, it's based on Dr. Greger's recommendations, yeah. Yeah, Forks Over Knives. So what is it? I can't actually see the time on my phone because the screen is so bright. I can't actually tell how much longer we got. But yeah, I guess we'll start to kind of wrap things up anyway. So thanks firstly to everyone who's come in and has been genuine in asking questions and doing things. Like I really do appreciate it, even if we don't agree. I appreciate that we can have civil conversation and everything. To those that have come in and just talked crap, thanks for boosting this in the algorithm. What people don't realise is the more you comment, the more YouTube recommends this. So you're actually doing us a favour and exposing this to more people, which is great. So thank you very much. And yeah, I guess I just want to leave people just kind of, thinking about what's kind of happened here today. So we've had probably around 200-ish cows coming into this slaughterhouse. Most of now, if you'd been here from the beginning, are going to be dead by now. And we really need to question why we are doing this. Why do we feel that we need to do this to other living beings? What's so special about us that we can, dictate others' lives, and be like, oh, I'm going to bring you into the world so I can profit off you, and I'm going to bring you into the world to kill you and use your skin or test on you or use you, to race or whatever we do to animals, okay? We just need to take a step back and realise that we're all on this planet together, okay? We might not be able to understand them, they might not be able to talk our language, but they're similar to us in the ways that matter, which is they're sentient, they feel, they have a will to live, they have their own families, they have their own interests, and we just need to respect that and leave them alone. And that's all being vegan is. A lot of people think it's this big of a thing. It's really not. All it is just going, you know what? I understand what we're doing to animals. I'm partaking in certain things that are harming animals. I'm just going to remove myself from that equation and then not support it. And then obviously do your best to educate others and try and bring this to an end, okay? We don't need to be doing this. Remember when you hear all these things when people are saying veganism's unhealthy and all this kind of stuff. We are against one of the biggest industries on the planet. If you don't think they've got an active interest to bring misinformation and all this stuff out to people, then you're kidding yourself. Of course they are. We're a threat. We're a threat to these industries. And the thing is, because of the way we're doing it, we're using the power of people with supply and demand. If we all step back and go, hey, we're not supporting this anymore, they're kind of screwed. They can't really do anything. It kind of bypasses having to go through governments and all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that stuff's not important, because it is, and we should. If we've got, if there's opportunities to lobby for things and all kind of stuff, we definitely should. But from a personal point of view, if we can remove ourselves from these industries and we keep doing that and encouraging more and more and more people to do that, we're going to see change, and we can already see it. Look how many vegan products there are in stores and stuff these days compared to 10 years ago. It's insane. And all that's just come through education and people starting to realise, hey, something different. I'm going to go try this stuff. The demand grows, the sections grow in the supermarkets, becomes easier, more and more people do it. Snowball effect is what's happening. So all I'm saying is if you like animals, if you love animals, even if you don't like animals, but you have, you at least believe in justice. You at least believe that, in respecting others, then being vegan is like the baseline of what we should be doing. It's just removing ourselves from the violence, removing ourselves from the exploitation, being like, no, we're not going to do that, in the same way that we're not violent towards, our fellow humans and stuff like that. We don't discriminate, we're not racist, we're not against women or against all of that stuff. This is just another thing to add to that list. We're not speciesists, we're not going to discriminate just because they're a different species. And it's easy to do, has a big impact, and it matters to these animals. And the only way this is ever going to stop is if people get on board. Okay, just remember, if you're in their position, think about it from their position. When we talk about injustice, you always talk about it from the victim's point of view, not the victimizers, not what we get out of it. Look at it from their point of view, okay? And when you start looking at it from their point of view, it looks a hell of a lot different. Put yourself in their position, you wouldn't want to be there. So yeah, I guess we'll kind of wrap up, unless there's any kind of real last. But yeah, Challenge 22, thanks for putting that in there. It's a really great resource if you need some kind of help in kind of switching kind of foods. Then kind of give you a mentor, kind of guide you all through it, which is great. And yeah, all good. And if anyone's got any extra questions, feel free to add me on Instagram. It's Chris Hines Official. And hopefully we'll see you on another stream. Please also go follow Mel and Steve, who have been here all day doing the same thing, being amazing. It's Mel and Steve. I'd say follow Ross, but I don't know what platforms he actually uses these days. Follow him if you find him.
Yeah, I don't have.
Yeah, he's a behind the scenes man. We're doing some amazing work. If you're a vegan and fan of Joey Carb Strong, this man's been churning out quite a lot of videos. So yeah, all different roles in the animal rights movement as well. It's not just about the activists, it's about the people editing the videos, about the people organising events, all different kinds of things. There's so much you can get involved in. You don't have to be an activist out on the street, kind of like this. There's so many things you can do to help animals. Use your skill sets. All good. And yeah, thanks again. I think that is all. So I will turn this off now. And yeah, all good. Thanks everyone. And hopefully some of you guys will make a change. Take care.